That's not what I wanted to do at all. Oh no. There we go. Um, I'm not sure why my shit's not playing. Security breach impacts millions. I bet. All right. In my like, I can play it anytime. Right on, dude. All right. Oh my goodness. We'll give the other folks a few minutes to get in here, Donald. I'm a little bit early. Ooh, excuse me. Did you have time to read email yet? No, I just got my videos and stuff together for this thing. I'm slow on this stuff. It takes me forever to get shit working properly. Hold on, I can go look at it though. Oh wait, no I can't. Cuz I have to sign in as Sick Pat. I can't be signed in as New Elder Circle Church. I'll have a look, Donald. I haven't forgotten. You are on my list, buddy. The good list, not the bad one. The one and only Bella Boo. Uh-oh. Bella Boo. Are you misbehaving? What in the ever-loving... Yeah, Donald. I'm already on. Okay, perfect. Yep, later. All right, excellent. Apparently, the universe doesn't absolutely hate me for the moment, so... You gotta pee? Well, go fucking pee then. See that? I have a reasonable answer for every situation. Ring, ring, right? I tell people things like, don't call me after 8 o'clock during the week because I'm streaming. And they listen so good. It's crazy. Well, it was 7:47. It wasn't technically after 8. Oh, God bless them. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like, moment of silence. What do you do during a moment of silence? They issue no instructions. Let's go crazy. Aaron's drunk. No way. I don't believe it. Aaron? That's not like him at all. Wait a minute. That's exactly like Aaron. All right. He's drunk. Talked myself right into it. Dallas delivering pizzas. Yeah. That's all right. Let's watch Dan Bongino.
Get ready to hear the truth about America on a show that's not immune to the facts with your host, Dan Bongino.
My family and my name have been totally and permanently destroyed. This confirmation process has become a national disgrace. This is a circus. I will not be intimidated into withdrawing from this process. Due process is a foundation of the American rule of law. Due process means listening to both sides. Last time I was here, I told you that when my mom was a prosecutor and I was in high school, she used to practice her closing arguments. Use your common sense. What rings true? What rings false? A lifetime of public service and a lifetime of high-profile public service at the highest levels of American government, and never a hint of anything of this kind. And that's because nothing of this kind ever happened.
No doubt in your mind.
Zero. I'm 100% certain.
You swear to God.
I swear to God.
Ladies and gentlemen, I'm not sure. I don't know how many of you understand the cataclysmic shift we all witnessed yesterday. Producer Joe, how are you today? Thank you for putting together that excellent montage. We have never done that before. And it's odd. Joe and I both got on the air this morning. We always talk before the show. And I said, Joe, this is a cataclysmic shift in our politics, the culture war, what's happening in the country, what happened yesterday. I am going to go through systematically for you exactly the old rules that got thrown out yesterday and the new rules that are now in effect. But I think it was important to come in cold with an absolutely explosive, powerful statement by what I believe to be an innocent man wrongly accused yesterday in Brett Kavanaugh, which has unquestionably changed the course, I believe, of American politics and American culture for a long time. Folks, make no mistake, what you witnessed yesterday was a cataclysmic shift for the left in our politics. I don't know where else you get your information from. I'm happy you're here. There are a lot of other great places and a lot of great content producers. I'm telling you that there are a number of people, many on the left, some on the so-called never Trump right, who are reading what happened yesterday so apocalyptically wrong they should get out of the commentary field forever. Mm-hmm. Old rules are out.
Get in the chopper.
The new rules are in, folks. Let's get right to it. As of yesterday, the old rules. Trump's too gruff. The Twitter stuff, the hard edge, the tough talk. He's too gruff, Joe. The old rules, we don't need that. The old rules were this. We have to play on their terms, Joe. The Republicans are inherently the bad guys. The Democrats have the moral high ground. And our goal, Joe, the entire time in the old rules, where we constantly apologize and explain things away using academics, we don't need gruff, tough talk. It just makes us look like more of the bad guys. Yep. Old rules. Old rules. That all changed yesterday. The old rules are out. The new rules are in. We play on our terms. Build the damn building. We now have a guy in office who gets into fistfights, and the rules are we win, you lose. This guy was a builder in the toughest building environment on earth. In New York City, dealing with unions, dealing with the mob, dealing with absolutely horrible bureaucrats in the New York City government. Where I grew up, I worked for the New York City Police Department. This guy had to build a damn building, and that was the only marker of success. There was no bootlicking, there was no ass kissing, there was build the damn building. Get the building built. Bing, pow, boom. Build the damn building. Nothing else matters. You win by putting those bricks on the ground and laying the mortar in between them. You don't win by endlessly apologizing for doing it. Old rules, Trump's too gruff. We don't need this. New rules, we win, you lose. Winning matters. We are not going to negotiate on your terms anymore. We are not going to stipulate in advance that you have some kind of moral high ground. We are now going to expose you for who you are and what you did. And the Democrats are walking out now with the committee hearing on the vote for Kavanaugh. Walk out. You want chaos? We'll give you chaos. Because now it's a fist fight. This is a straight up fist fight. You punched us in the gut for too long. We're now putting the hands up, and the fight is on. We are a peaceful, God-fearing people, and we always will be. But we will defend ourselves. Politically, we will defend ourselves in this culture war now. The old rules are over. There is no more negotiating on your terms. You are going to ruthlessly engage in character assassination of our people, endlessly. It has happened for decades. Every istophobic, phobophobic term you can throw our way, you've thrown our way. And you know when that stopped yesterday? There was a critical juncture in time yesterday that happened. Nothing will ever be the same after this. I'm sure of this, and I mean this, folks, attribute it to hyperbolic language all you want. I don't care. I have been a keen observer of this for a long time. The moment Lindsey Graham retook the floor from Rachel Mitchell, God bless her. I thought they brought her there to do a job. I think a lot of the criticism of her is unwarranted. She's not there to be a politician. She was there to gather facts. Rachel Mitchell, who was the prosecutor from Arizona, who asked the questions of Dr. Ford. But there was a critical moment yesterday where the Republicans saw that when Judge Kavanaugh was up.
Listen, I want to ask the ladies in my room. All right, this is a question for the ladies. You guys just have to shut up for a minute. Mazie Hiromo, are you fucking kidding me? I have to shut up? It's real convenient for you to say that when I'm not in the room. But I want to ask the ladies something. What do you think about these chicks selling themselves out to the Democrat Party and selling the rest of you down the river with them? I really want to know. If I was a woman, I would be insanely fucking pissed off. Whores, right? That's what they are. They sold out for their 30 pieces of silver or whatever it was. You know what I'm saying? To the Democrat Party. They're all activists and shit. But if I was a woman, that would piss me off. Like on levels I probably couldn't. A bunch of whoas. Devil lovers. Jeez. All right. It's gotta, man. I mean, that hits right at your own doorstep. You know what I mean? All of us have stories from high school. You don't ruin people's lives over it. Well, right. I mean, that's a very big way to look at it, a very mature way to look at it. But I'm just saying in general, man, that like, I don't know. It just seems to me that it would, if I was a woman, I'd be fucking pissed. I'd be mad as a motherfucker. These fucking feminists kill me. They don't know the first thing about women. All they know is their leftist programming. That's it. Honor Polly. I don't know what that means. Oh yeah, she only got asked 2 questions. Oh, I know you are, Tox. You made yourself very clear, right? I know where you stand. You're like, I will fucking rip your spine out through your mouth, you miserable whore. I want to hang her. So I've been desensitized to liberal. Yeah, I love you too, Tox. Love to have you around. You're good people. I was thrown around. Right. Well, not only that, she's a CIA fucking pawn, dude. She's all neck deep in the CIA. She's a CIA recruiter. You know, there's just her whole fucking history stinks. She deleted her entire social history, her online social fucking media history. Are you kidding me? Who does that? Who fucking does that? Ivana, welcome back with your new name. Ivana make you cry. God, that's just mean. Don't make me cry. I want to hear Bon Jizzle. Yeah, I'm sorry. Yeah, I interrupted. You're right. Well, I cried in the car. All right. Well, you know, don't cry. We like to have you around.
That they had to take back the floor and engage this for what it was. It was no longer a fact-finding mission. It was a culture war to destroy any Republican nominee now and in the future and take back the floor. And Graham got up there and said, this is not a fact-finding mission anymore. This is a smear job by you. And he pointed to them. You guys did this. You did this.
If you wanted an FBI investigation, you could have come to us. What you want to do is destroy this guy's life, hold this seat open, and hope you win in 2020. You've said that, not me. You've got nothing to apologize for. When you see Sotomayor and Kagan, tell them that Lindsey said hello, because I voted for them. I would never do to them what you've done to this guy. This is the most unethical sham since I've been in politics. And if you really wanted to know the truth, you sure as hell wouldn't have done what you've done to this guy. Are you a gang rapist?
No.
I cannot imagine what you and your family have gone through. Boy, y'all want power. God, I hope you never get it. I hope the American people can see through this sham, that you knew about it and you held it. You had no intention of protecting Dr. Ford. None. She's as much of a victim as you are. God, I hate to say it because these have been my friends. But let me tell you, when it comes to this, you're looking for a fair process. You came to the wrong town at the wrong time, my friend.
You want justice? You want real justice? You better damn well recognize the fist fight we're in right now. And halfway through that hearing, Lindsey Graham recognized right away, and God bless him. And listen, Graham hasn't been with us on everything. The time for that, you have to understand, folks, this is a fist fight. Mm-hmm. This is a fist fight, meaning you may get punched a few times here and there, but you got to go with your best guy at your best moment. And Graham, with a history of prosecutions, as a prosecutor, having been involved in the Clinton impeachment hearing, Graham was the perfect guy for that moment. And sometimes when you're down, you bring up the best guy for the moment, although he may not have been the best guy at every moment. There are guys in my jiu-jitsu class who got a damn good guard on their back, but they can't play the top game for squat. Graham may not be the best guy on immigration, but you damn well bet he was the best guy yesterday to put a stop to this BS crap right there yesterday, this sham hearing what it was, and call it what it was. They treated Dr. Ford with respect and dignity. They did everything they could to have a clearly traumatized woman speak there. They let her say what she had to say. The prosecutor treated her with dignity, and the Democrats turned around and took a dump on Judge Kavanaugh. And it was time to call it what it was. This is a fist fight now. This isn't some fair game nonsense where we're out here in a fact-finding mission. There were no facts that came out yesterday. I'm going to talk about the so-called facts that was supposedly brought out yesterday, or the lack thereof, too. What you witnessed from Lindsey Graham yesterday were the end of the old rules. The new rules are in. Build the damn building. And to build the building, we win. I don't care how it gets built, how that brick gets down, how that mortar lays on top. We are going to fight for life, for economic freedom. We're going to fight for our healthcare system and our kids' education. And we're going to build that damn building. And however that building gets built, whoever gets knocked down doing it, if you want to knock them down, drag out political fight, then we are game. You want to walk out, you want chaos, we will give you the chaos you want. But we will control it this time. You need any more motivation to get out and vote in November? Folks, I'm sorry, I love you to death. But if you dare sit this one out, you have no excuse. I get it. Oh, I don't like early voting. I don't care. And neither should you. Fight it on the ballot. The first day early voting starts, every one of you should be at that ballot booth. Request it by mail, request it by absentee, request the damn thing by carrier pigeon. You get your vote in and you take 10 friends with you and you stop these chaos-producing maniacs on the left who wanted nothing more than a sham hearing. I don't like how Graham voted on immigration. I don't either. I don't care. To build the building, we need every single warrior up there. Listen, my congressman's a personal friend. I could not disagree with him more on significant issues. If you think for a second I'm voting Democrat to send some kind of piss-poor message, you are out of your mind. I don't care how crappy or horrible your Republican is. The alternative is absolute, utter chaos in what you witnessed yesterday. Sheldon Whitehouse the sham, disgraceful Democrat senator, asking him about fart jokes, Kavanaugh. Fart jokes. You think I'm making this up? Look in my show notes today. Read Byron York's piece from the Washington Examiner about the disgrace Sheldon Whitehouse was yesterday. It goes list by list, the abomination this man is. His ridiculous questions to a dignified public servant. Asking about human flatulence games. Old rules are over. Over. We win. You lose. Period. Full stop. Here's the other old rule you can stick a fork in as of yesterday. The critical theory culture wars will no longer be played on your terms. No more. This culture war, critical theory, the male patriarchy, you're inherently evil if you're a white male. Over. It's over. You expected yesterday what you absurdly tried to make a racial fight using identity politics. The people involved in this, Dr. Ford and Judge Kavanaugh, are both white. There was no racial component to this. You knew that. You tried to make this an identity politics war because you're obsessed with critical theory. The idea that knowledge, actual knowledge and facts are only a construct of power, and the fact that white males have dominated the power structure for decades, that facts and knowledge no longer matter, and identity you're going to triage your priorities are number one. It's over. We're not fighting on your terms anymore. The old rules. The culture war, the white male patriarchy. Republicans should apologize first for the lack of melanin in their skin and their biological parts, although they had no component in choosing either one of those things. You wanted Kavanaugh to back down. You needed him to back down. You were praying for him to back down. And he came out firing on all cylinders. And I'll tell you what the new rules are, folks. The new rules is we are going to fight back. The new rules are we're going to fight back. We are not going to back down. And the fact that you are going to now try to throw him under the bus and say, oh, listen, it speaks to a lack of temperament. In case you've been listening to my show or you missed something over the last 2 years, I really don't care about temperament. What do I care about? Build the damn building. We win, you lose. If they got a temperament problem, which Kavanaugh doesn't, by the way, there's no evidence of that at all. Even if he did, don't care. You know why? I'm not working with the old rules anymore. Oh, he's an angry white male and he showed it yesterday. Don't care. We're not playing on your terms anymore. The new rules are take your critical theory and shove it right up your caboose. That's the new rules. We will judge people on their merits, on their character. You want to marry yourself to identity politics, the melanin component of someone's skin, where they were born in their religion? You knock yourself out, you liberal loons. We are going to judge people based on who they are and a lifetime of evidence. Old rule number 3. You can stick a fork in. Can't mess with the media, Joe. They buy ink by the barrel. Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah? Mm-hmm. Bring it, kids. Bring it right now. You can bury that old rule. Judge Kavanaugh was crystal clear yesterday in acknowledging what all of us already know. And now you can take it out to the general population and across the heartland of America. The mainstream media is the opposition. I am absolutely, openly, and will vocally and always support a free press. No caveats, no buts, no ifs, nothing. A free press means they have the right and they are free to be stupid. They take us up on that opportunity often. They are allowed to be free, and we're free to recognize them for who they are. Mm-hmm. We are free to recognize them for the opposition party they've become. They are, listen to me, and let's be crystal clear. They are free to be that opposition party, and you are free to recognize it. And now, as of yesterday, the old rules are out. Oh, we don't want to mess with the media. No, we are messing with the media because the media is messing with us. The violent stuff, obviously, is the leftist stuff. We are governed by big R rights granted by God, including people in the media who choose to act stupidly. But we will recognize them on political terms exactly for who they are. And Kavanaugh smartly brought that into his opening yesterday, addressing the fact that this has been a media smear job running with absolutely uncorroborated, hysterical, in some cases, hysterical accusations against him of rape trains. Old rules. Don't mess with the media. New rules. Bring it, kids. Bring it. They are the opposition. They should be treated as such when it comes to politics. Old rules. We should argue stuff on the merits, the facts. The data matters. Ladies and gentlemen, the data and the facts do matter. They matter to me and they matter to you. Ladies and gentlemen, the data and the facts are entirely and completely irrelevant to the radical left. It is your responsibility as a conservative and a libertarian to passionately argue your case using facts and data. You may say, Dan, you're taking two contradictory positions. No, I'm not. My experience in running for office is you absolutely have to know the facts on the taxes. You have to know facts about school choice. You have to know the data on healthcare choice and the lack thereof in socialized countries. But you are not arguing those facts with the left. When I used to debate people at the county, I remember the Maryland State Fair up in the fairgrounds. Joe knows where it is. He's been there many times. Mm-hmm. When I was at the Republican booth, liberals would argue with me all the time. You're not arguing the facts with them. Liberals are not interested in facts. Remember, they believe in critical theory, the old rules, that knowledge is irrelevant because it's a construct of power. Knowledge means nothing. Power matters. That is what the essence of critical theory. You are not arguing the facts with them to get them to change their minds. Their minds are not changeable. You are arguing for the third person listening. There's always a third person there, folks. Always. Someone videos it, someone hears it. The liberal's a lost cause. The modern liberal is an absolute lost cause. You're not wasting your time, however, presenting facts and data because the third person listening is hearing what you're saying and hearing the hysteria of the far left. Having said that, in a strict power play, in the we win, you lose scenario, arguing with facts and data is no longer enough. Now we will elect people and we will use raw political power via the way the constitutional republic has laid out for us. We will not usurp power like the left does. We will do it the right way, but we will take that power and we will win, and we are going to crush you on this. We win, you lose. There is no backing down. There is no, oh, this isn't my guy. I met my Republican congressman and he treated my dog. I don't care about your dog. I care about holding committee chairmanships. Get your butt in the voting booth and vote for these guys, even though I've been a leading advocate of the clowns, many of them are too. Mm-hmm. But we have got good people up there who are at a minimum trying to avert an absolute apocalyptic disaster if the Democrats, this chaos-producing entity of a party, takes power back. You've got Jim Jordan. You've got Mike Lee. You've got people up there, Rand Paul, Ted Cruz. You need to get out and vote. There is no excuse. You may say, oh, it's the most important election of our lifetime. You know what? This is more important than a Trump election because they didn't see us coming. You and I, Joe, both know it. They did not see us coming. These cocky liberals were smiling all the way to the election booth. Yep. We blindsided them. I boxed for a long time. What's the best punch in the world, Joe?
The one
the opponent never saw coming. You're damn right. Yeah. Any good boxing coach will tell you that. The best punch in the world is the one your opponent never saw coming.
Boom.
They didn't see us. They never saw us. They see us now. They're ready. They've been training. Literally been training. Everything, not boxing training, but they have been training in obstruction and in chaos. Mm-hmm. They're not ready for the storm. We're ready. We're armed with the facts and data, but we're also armed with the knowledge that the facts and data are not there to win elections. Elections are won by you showing up and exercising raw political power. The facts and data are there for the third person. They're not there for the liberal. You need to acknowledge that now. Know your stuff, but be ready to exercise raw political power. Show up, get your friends, get your kids, anybody eligible to vote that you can convince to drive. You get in your car. You get them to do it by mail. Make sure your parents are voting. Anybody eligible. Anyone. within the bounds of legality, you get to those voting booths and you vote. And you vote down the line Republican. I get it. A lot of these guys are dogs. I get it. I understand it. Get them in there. They'll hold the chairmanship for Nunes and others. Do you see the chaos you are inviting in otherwise? I don't know what moral victory you think you're having by you're not sitting this one out. There's no sitting it out. There was a cultural shift yesterday that will be meaningless if you don't do something about it. Old rule number 5. And I want to hat tip Rich Lowry. Rich Lowry from National Review. Rich Lowry, Joe, as critical a Trumper as you're ever going to meet. Mm-hmm. But this is no time for us to go, oh, forget him. He didn't like Trump. No. Everybody on the field. Everybody. I don't care how much that bothers you. Oh, that guy didn't like Trump. Too bad. Everybody on the field. This is no time for BS. Everybody. Rich Lowry wants to get on the field at National Review and fight. Welcome aboard, brother. Rich Lowry in my show notes has a must read. I say this a lot. Get to the show notes today. I don't care if you go to my webpage or not. It's there at the show notes. Read the darn article at National Review. Rich Lowry, as critical of a Trumper as you've ever seen, acknowledges in today's piece after this abomination of a hearing that this is a validation of Trumpian politics. Read the headline of the piece. This one I have to hat tip to him. Old rules, according to Rich Lowry. Hey, Joe, good character matters. Good character doesn't mean squat anymore. They ran John McCain. They ran Mitt Romney. All have cozied up to the press for a long time. Not speaking ill of the dead. I'm not doing that. You guys do what you want. It's not my bag of donuts. I'm sorry. But they ran a guy who enjoyed his time with the press and cozied up to them and developed relationships with the press for a long time in McCain. And they ran a Mormon with a lifetime of donating his salary to charity in Mitt Romney. And you know what happened? They were painted as Nazis and racists and tax evaders. Good character doesn't mean anything. You know what matters? Winning. And that's why you got this ball buster in there now who wins. He builds stuff. Build a building. Build the damn building. He builds buildings. He doesn't talk about it. He doesn't kiss the press's ass to build a building. He's not shining your damn shoes. He's not getting anybody's shine box. He builds buildings. We tried this before. We ran a Mormon. We ran a POW. And they were still called Nazis. We win. We win. We build stuff. Stuff is getting built. And it's no time for you to kick a few damn builders off your job because you don't like the fact that they kicked your dog 6 months ago. I don't care. Get every one of these clowns in there for one reason and one reason only. We will exercise raw political power, and you will put an R in front of your name, and we will vote for you because good character doesn't mean squat anymore. It doesn't mean squat. You will be called a Nazi and the most disgusting terms known to humankind, no matter what you do. It's over. Over. We build buildings now. No more ass kissing. No more bending over backwards to kiss the boots of the media. No more. We build the damn buildings now. And this guy in the White House builds stuff. And he doesn't care about who builds the damn thing. Get your workers in there. Get your team on the field. Get your warriors on the battlefield. Man up now. Now. Get your ballots in. Get your 10 friends. Do not let this moment pass. Listen to me. I don't need any more money from anybody. Share this podcast with someone, anyone. Please, I don't even care. I need you to motivate 10 people to get out and vote. This is a cataclysmic shift in our culture that has to be married up to raw political power. We are defending the republic. The Democrats are desperate to usher in an era of chaos that will be no turning back from. New rules. We win. Winning first. You're not ready for this, then turn off your TV. If you're not ready for this, my show may not be for you. I would easily, gladly lose an audience standing by principle any day. That's fine. But if you're not ready for this fight, all I ask is that you back away and don't take anybody with you. Just peacefully walk away, that's fine. But if you're ready, you need to do. You need to do. Talk is cheap. It is meaningless. You need to do something. You need to get on your Facebook. You need to get on your Twitter. You need to get on your email list. You need to get on your phone. Did you vote? Did you vote? You need to vote. Tired of this whole voting doesn't matter. You know what? It does matter. Yeah, we're losing on a lot of things. We got a bunch of weak-kneed guys who've voted us into a spending abyss. I get it. Do you understand that this cultural fight and the cataclysmic shift yesterday takes primacy over everything? If you let this moment die and they take back power, forget about the country's finished. It is open season on anybody who opposes them. Do you understand what happened yesterday? For the first time in modern American history, a blatant, disgusting, horrible, atrocious character attack on Republicans in modern American history, in the era of new vicious politics, was vocally opposed on the Senate floor in a watershed moment by Lindsey Graham that mobilized the base. If it mobilizes the base to do nothing, it didn't mobilize, it did squat. Now it is up to you. Graham gave you the football. You have to run down the field.
This is going to destroy the ability of good people to come forward because of this crap. Your high school yearbook. You have interacted with professional women all your life, not one accusation. You're supposed to be Bill Cosby when you're a junior and senior in high school. And all of a sudden you got over it. It's been my understanding that if you drug women and rape them for 2 years in high school, you probably don't stop. Here's my understanding. If you lived a good life, people would recognize it, like the American Bar Association has the gold standard. His integrity is absolutely unquestioned. He is very circumspect in his personal conduct, harbors no biases or prejudices. He's entirely ethical, is a really decent person. He is warm, friendly, unassuming. He's the nicest person. The ABA. The one thing I can tell you should be proud of, Ashley, you should be proud of this, that you raised a daughter who had the good character to pray for Dr. Ford. To my Republican colleagues, if you vote no, you're legitimizing the most despicable thing I have seen in my time in politics. You want this seat? I hope you never get it. I hope you're on the Supreme Court. That's exactly where you should be. And I hope that the American people will see through this charade. And I wish you well, and I intend to vote for you, and I hope everybody who's fair-minded will.
You're damn right, brother. You are damn right. The gloves came off yesterday, folks. You better damn well recognize the ref ain't getting in between you. He ain't breaking you up. These guys have kidney punched us and rabbit punched us for too long. The ref ain't doing squat. They're going to bite your ear off Mike Tyson style. And you damn well better get those gloves off and get ready for a fight. And that speech yesterday changes everything. They were stunned, Joe. You watched it like the Democrats were stunned. You know why? They're not ready for the storm. They were used to the old rules. We accuse you of being misogynist and hating women, and you apologize and back down, and the media doubles down. That died yesterday. But now we follow it up with raw political power. That died yesterday. That died with that one speech. I'm taking back the floor. And folks, make no mistake when I tell you this. The Democrats know what they're doing is morally evil. They know this. The most troubling component of this entire disgusting, sordid tale is the fact that this is not out of some component of naivete. The Democrats absolutely know the destruction of human lives and everybody else they're going to take down with it. Remember, they just didn't take down this guy. They took Judge, P.J. Smith, everybody else who's been thrown into this, who denies this ever happened, their lives have been upended. They are destroying and taking down. This is a carnage operation like I've never seen before by the Democrats. They know what they're doing is evil. They watched that man. And you know how I know it? Go watch the video yesterday when Kavanaugh talks. I don't even want to get choked up. Folks, when he talks about his 10-year-old daughter, we should pray for the woman. Watch Alyssa Milano, far-left radical activist in the background. The old actress. Well, I think she's still an actress. I don't mean old chronologically, but remember her from Who's the Boss? She's now become a radical leftist actress. Watch her in the background.
Yeah.
Watch her try to hold back tears.
Mm-hmm.
Folks, the most evil acts in the world are evil acts conducted with a knowledge that what you're doing is in fact wrong. Listen, why is there a defense for psychopathological illnesses in court? There's a defense because there's an acknowledgement that certain psychopathologies and pathological mental conditions take away volitional acts, meaning the person may not have even known what they were doing. There's no question it was wrong. Someone kills someone it was wrong. Right. The person died. It's obvious. But why is there a defense in court? There's a defense in court because we want to acknowledge that it was a conscious act of willing evil. And in cases of psychopathology, sometimes it's not. What makes what's going on such a human disgrace on a cataclysmic, apocalyptic scale is that the loony Democrats on that committee absolutely know that they are destroying the life of a good man for nothing more than raw political power. Watch her hold back tears. Why are you crying? Why are you crying, Alyssa? No, I'm dead serious. Why are you crying? What are you crying about? Why are you crying? I thought you said he was a serial rapist, a rape train guy. Drugs women. Why are you crying? Why so emotional? You got him, don't you? Why are you crying as he tells the story of his daughter asking to pray for Dr. Ford? Why are you crying? Little hurt? Maybe you have to recognize now your own role in the destruction of this man's life and it emotionally bothers you? Folks, I've interviewed a lot of people over the years. 12 years in the Secret Service, 4 years with the NYPD. There's a big difference between crying, genuine emotional crying, induced by uncontrollable emotion, and stage crying. And let me tell you something about Kavanaugh yesterday. Listen to how many times. What do you think he's doing? You think he's got allergies? It's a hallmark nearly every single time that someone can't control their emotions. The mucus develops, it develops in your nose. The tears come down your face. You notice how people in Hollywood, when they cry, you don't hear them sniffling in the movies? Why is that? Think Kavanaugh was acting yesterday? You thought he was acting. Why were you crying too, Alyssa? You have to look in the mirror. See what you did to this man, this father, soccer coach, basketball coach, public servant? Do you have to recognize finally your role in it? Why are you crying? Folks, I have a lot more to get to, so I don't want you to go anywhere. I want to get to Dr. Ford, too, because there were two components yesterday. But I want to leave you again with this thought. We do have to pay for the show. Again, I always appreciate your patience. I've altered the ads today and the read of them because this is an important, pivotal day in our history. I'm going to say this one last time. And I'm sorry for those of you who get bothered by the repetition, but too bad. This is way too important. You darn well better get out there and vote. And it is not good enough for you. You have to get 10 friends. You have to try to get 10 friends. There is no excuse. None. Not only must you vote. I have not missed an election since God knows when. Not only is it important you vote, it is important that you coolly, calmly, and I'm not lecturing anybody again. I can't say this enough. There is a vote coming up on Tuesday. There is a committee vote today for 1:30 on Kavanaugh, which he's expected to get through. There is a floor vote on Tuesday to confirm Judge Kavanaugh. We have well over 100,000 independent, separate listeners to the show. Well over. You know what? I usually don't disclose our numbers. I will today because it's important. We are a rather large show thanks to you. Every single listener to this show, I am humbly, respectfully begging you to not only vote, to get your early votes in as early as possible, but to email and call your senator's office. It is not hard. Just Google "find my congressman," find my senator. Now, your congressman can't vote on Kavanaugh. Call them anyway and tell them to support the senator who is. Call your senator, email them. That's 4 things. Email your congressman. Hey, I know you're not voting. I need you to publicly put pressure on our senator. Email your senator. Call their office. Demand an upvote. Demand an upvote on Kavanaugh. Let them know. Cool and calm. You will never forget this vote. The sins of the past are over. You will never, ever, ever forget this vote. If you vote no, it is an unequivocal downvote for you in November. No matter what, you will never forget this vote. I don't mean the Republicans. I mean if it's Joe Manchin, Donnelly, and the other ones, Heidkamp and others. I'm telling you, you have to vote, but even though some of them, this is no time for this. We need all our soldiers on the field. But you need to let them know you will never, ever, ever forget this vote. It's critical. It may be the most emotional 40 minutes of a show I've done. I'm actually like...
a little tired there, buddy?
Yeah, man. It's
I can see it.
I've had a lot of physical labor jobs in my time. Oh, boy. All right. Thanks for your patience and everything. Folks, I'm just going to... A couple reads, and I appreciate your attention because these sponsors want to be here and they want to keep the show free for you. So thank you very much. Hey, your confidence is important, and sometimes one change can make all the difference. Hair Club knows this, and they're inviting you to become part of the Hair Club family to see how getting the most out of your hair can change your life. They understand the emotions you're feeling, and they know the questions you have. Hair Club is the leader in total hair solutions with a legacy of success for over 40 years. If you're looking to revitalize the growth of your own hair or to learn more about the latest proven methods for hair replacement or restoration, Hair Club's professionally trained stylists, hair health experts, and consultants will craft a personalized solution to ensure you feel your best and get the most out of your hair. See for yourself just how powerful great hair can be. Folks, I know a number of people who are Hair Club members. They really love it. They want to be here again. And listen, it's a confidence issue for a lot of folks. Not all of us have a great mane like Joe here with his Elvis-looking mane right there, you know?
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Go to hairclub.com/Bongino today for a free hair analysis and a free take-home hair kit.
No, you ain't going to get to hear the old commercials, you know. They'll fucking yell at me and shit. I get part of it. I got part of it. I knocked it down. I get it. Gang rape has a statute of limitations. Dude, the whole thing is retarded. I don't care. You can't tell me that these chicks are credible. You just can't. They're all connected with, activism and the CIA and fuck you. Truly, fuck you. I'm not playing that game.
Chaos wins the day, and I throw that out. Ladies and gentlemen, whether it's an arbitration dispute, whether it's a union dispute, whether it's an athletics dispute, the principle of due process holds in a moral and ethical society. It is not just a legal framework on a criminal charge. So the left's come back to this that, innocent until proven guilty doesn't matter because it's a Senate confirmation. You know what? It matters because we're a moral and ethical country. Dr. Ford's making serious allegations against this man. Serious allegations. A man I believe is innocent. The evidence matters. It matters everywhere else in life. I want to point some problems out here. Number one, there was no additional detail provided yesterday or corroborating evidence that Dr. Ford's account of the events as she states them is in fact accurate. I don't know what happened to Dr. Ford. I have no idea. I was not there. Obviously. The problem is the people she claims were there have resolutely, under the penalty of perjury, denied the fact that the events as she states them happened. Ladies and gentlemen, does this matter to you? And if it doesn't, please explain to me why. How a father, a husband, a coach, a public servant's life can be destroyed based on corroborating evidence, air quotes, that corroborates nothing and is evidence that it didn't happen. Please explain that to me. Second, there was a noticeable, Joe, and I know you noticed this because we were talking about it yesterday on text, a noticeable lack of any detail. Ladies and gentlemen, this is very suspicious.
Yes.
There is no where. We still don't know where that happened. Folks, if we knew the location where it happened, then it would be possible for the homeowner or a resident of the house to claim it didn't or it did. The lack of detail as to a location of the crime invites the obvious question, or the assault in this case, the alleged assault. The lack of a location, if you were an investigator worth any kind of salt at all, is a very suspicious omission. The lack of a when. Folks, we don't need a specific date. I understand that people who have allegations of being a victim of some kind of assault like this, either physical, sexual, or otherwise, may not have any. Listen, things happen to me. I mean, to be fair, I don't remember the dates on everything either. But I certainly can narrow it down. The failure to narrow down to a specific time frame or any effort to do so would do what, Joe? If you are looking at this objectively, as we all should, we have one account that was very emotional and passionate, and we have another account that was very emotional and passionate. How do responsible people then evaluate this? They evaluate it based on corroboration and evidence, which Judge Kavanaugh has produced. He has produced, actually at this point, 3 affidavits from people involved in it that said that the alleged victim produced that said no. He has produced his calendars that completely refute a lot of these allegations. Dr. Ford has produced nothing, not a date. The suspicious lack of a date, Joe, opens my eyes because having conducted these investigations, it gives the ability of the accused person to say, I wasn't there then.
Yep.
The suspicious lack of detail. How Miss Ford got home from the site of the alleged attack, which she still can't tell us where. She narrows it down to a basically 6 to 8 mile distance from her house. Folks, 6 to 8 miles is a long walk. 6 miles running at a 7-minute mile would take you 42 minutes. That's the least of it. It's 6 to 8 miles. 6 miles walking at a healthy, brisk pace would probably take you over 2 hours. 6 miles walking at a slow pace would take you probably close to 3 hours. You don't remember anything? Is it not fair for us to ask that question? You have made credible, serious allegations, and you've been given the opportunity, fairly enough, to state them. How is it that none of those details are in that story? Now, I'm asking you as a former investigator, would a reasonable investigator not say, well, if you had a driver, which we can now assume you did based on the distance from the general location you've stated, does the driver who drove you home know about it? And if not, why? Folks, these are fair questions in a fair society where the presumption of innocence is already established. Listen, I have no interest in attacking this woman. I mean it. It's not, really, I don't. I don't know this woman's history. I don't know her past, and it's not my goal at all. It is my goal, however, to deal with two, as a former investigator and a reasonable human being, to deal with two conflicting accounts. It is the duty and responsibility of both parties then to provide some form of evidence that their account is in fact true. Mm-hmm. Judge Kavanaugh has produced evidence. Dr. Ford's legal team thus far has produced none. All right, I want to get into a couple more things too about this, but I want to just take a break from this because it gets really emotional here. All right, today's show also brought to you by our buddies at Blinkist. If you're like me, the list of books.
Oh, damn. Right, Tanya? I'm getting used to this shit. I know when he's about to go to a commercial now. I've been watching his cadence. He changes the way he talks right before a commercial.
He's constantly curating and adding new.
Yeah. Kingish, froggish on the pondish. Right? Right.
Yeah, I say it's emotional because something happened to me, folks, yesterday that really kind of got on my nerves a little bit.
Yeah?
Yeah. Zach Picanis, who is a commentator, he does some work on Fox News and others. He's a far left radical Democrat. But I've always had a rule, Joe, when I get into fights with people on this kind of stuff. The rule is I don't bring up their past because a lot of people have done things in the past that is not necessarily becoming of them, and I just don't think it's fair to do that. But Picanis tried to call me out yesterday and said I was attacking this woman. I'm not attacking this woman, folks. I'm asking for evidence. You're suggesting that the man applying for the Supreme Court is a serial rapist running rape trains and drugging women. You are absolutely obligated as a witness then to provide some kind of evidence that what you're saying is in fact true. It is in no way, in any way disrespectful to anyone to say, folks, what exactly do you know? How do you know it? How do you know this happened? I'm sorry. All right. Get myself back together here. Yesterday clearly was an emotional day. All right, now you see yesterday too why it was so important, Joe, that Dr. Ford go first and Judge Kavanaugh go last.
Sure.
Now this was an issue because what led me to believe, and I told you last night about it, I didn't believe Dr. Ford was going to show up. Obviously, I was wrong. I covered that yesterday in the special edition. But one of the reasons I strongly believe that, based on some emails I was reading, is the demands they were making of Judge Kavanaugh were simply not doable. The accused person never, ever, ever in any system of justice, common law or otherwise, goes first. Why is that? You have to be obviously given the opportunity to address the accusations, which this is just common sense. You can't do if the accusations haven't been leveled.
Exactly.
So now, though, yesterday, you see one of the reasons the Democrats wanted the judge to go first, because they wanted the judge to give an impassioned appeal, which then they would attack afterwards using Dr. Ford afterwards. So I just had that point there. It was important, and I want to give Senator Grassley, the Republican chair of the committee, some credit for holding fast on that and sticking to the rule of law. The rule of law indicates that the accused counters the charges. That's the way it works. Okay. Another point, critical takeaway. Again, we're establishing the veracity of their account of events. One of the stories told to us by the Ford legal team, Joe, was that Dr. Ford did not want to fly because she had some fear of flying.
Yep.
Ladies and gentlemen, this is critical. Why is this critical? Because the Democrats are the ones alleging that there's no political component to Dr. Ford's allegations against Judge Kavanaugh. It is the Democrats saying this was purely out of her desire to come forward, that this had nothing to do with politics. Now, having stated that, the Democrats asked for a delay from the Monday hearing. There was no good reason for a Monday delay. Judge Kavanaugh had the right to clear his name, just like the alleged victim had the right to make the allegations. The Monday delay, I told you the strategy of it was to get to Thursday to avoid an October 1st seating. Is it cataclysmic? No. An October 1st seating of Judge Kavanaugh on the Supreme Court? No, but it's not good. They achieved that. They achieved that by stating she had a fear of flying, Dr. Ford, which clearly, based on yesterday's testimony, does not seem to have inhibited her from flying quite often. These are relevant towards establishing the credibility of the account.
Yeah.
She clearly flew to the polygraph on October 7th. We know from yesterday under questioning that she's flown to other places as well. Are we interested anymore in evidence? Does this even matter? It should. Another critical thing that came out yesterday. The Republican members of the Senate said to Dr. Ford, well, Dr. Ford, we would have flown out to California to take your statement. We relayed this to your legal team. Ford, in the testimony, Joe, I know you saw this, said her lawyers never told her that. Why would Democrat activist lawyers like Katz's firm there, one of the lawyers there, and Bromwich, why would these activists not notify her if she was afraid of flying like they allege, that the Republican committee members or their staff would have flown to her? Why would they not notify Dr. Ford of that? Why would they not do that? Maybe because they were looking for a delay and the delay was political the entire time. Now, folks, let me be clear on this. I'm not catering to any audience, you or otherwise, to tell you the truth. I believe what she said, Ms. Ford, on that account. I absolutely believe her lawyers didn't tell her that. There is no reason under oath she would say that and humiliate her lawyers if it wasn't true. You see where I'm going with this, Joe.
Mm-hmm.
I believe she didn't know she was throwing her lawyers under the bus because now other people say, well, it was out there in the public. I don't know what her lawyers were telling her. I believe that the lawyers at this point may have been hiding this somehow from her. That, it's just a political play. No, they're not going to come out here. We got to go out there and we got to wait till next week. There's no good reason under oath to throw the lawyers under the bus. There was a number of, folks, I'm just basing it based on my experience here, interviewing people. There were a number of excuses she could have came up with to say why the Republicans couldn't come out there. I had people in town, whatever. There's a million different things. I think she was genuinely caught off guard by that. She may have read it in the paper. Someone may have told her, that's nonsense. They're really not, they're going to come out here. We got to go there. But that story clearly indicates to me that the legal team she hired had pure political motives in this. That somehow there's only two scenarios. And listen, I could be wrong. Maybe she did know and she threw the lawyers under the bus. I don't know. Maybe she didn't know. I'm suggesting to you there's a strong possibility they did not, in fact, tell her. Finally, the most powerful piece of what I saw yesterday. Folks, when asked about Leland Kaiser, who was one of the witnesses Dr. Ford indicated would be able to corroborate some portion of her account of the allegations she made against Judge Kavanaugh, when asked about Leland Kaiser and why Leland Kaiser, again, a witness she provided, Ford's team, could not confirm her account of the event. As a matter of fact, does not remember the party at all. Why is this critical? Because some defenders of Dr. Ford, including Jennifer Granholm, who was on CNN, said, well, Leland Kaiser's denial, Joe, that she knows anything about it actually confirms Dr. Ford's account, because Ford would have steamed out of the house after this happened, this alleged attack, and would have not told anyone. Ladies and gentlemen, that's not what happened. No. Leland Kaiser does not remember the party at all. This is not an account of Dr. Ford running out of a house and not telling her and alleging she was there. She doesn't remember the party at all. When asked about that specific event, that, hey, Leland Kaiser's not confirming your account, matter of fact, doesn't even remember the party, Ford, in one of the more confusing moments of the testimony, says, well, no, she texted me afterwards with letters, with words of support, and is having a bunch of medical issues she needs to deal with. Wait, what? Folks, listen. You can show respect and dignity to people and let them tell their story, but you have to. Is that an appropriate thing to put out in front of Joe? How many people were watching yesterday? 50 million?
Everybody. Yeah.
Everybody. People watching in my daughter's gymnastics gym, as I told you on the special last night. Is that an appropriate thing to put out there? That the woman has medical issues she's dealing with? I don't know, folks. I mean, we can look at this reasonably and say, it was a very, very interesting moment, to say the least. All right, I got one more thing. Let me get one more thing. It reminds me of being on the 5. Every time you go on the 5, you get the one more thing segment. Yeah. You go up there. So last time I addressed my friend Colin Johnson, who passed from us too early. I thought that was appropriate. All right, today's show finally brought to you by our buddies at Robinhood. These guys are great. Super easy to use, too.
No, not Robinhood. No Robinhood. ETFs, there's no damn Robinhood around here. Holy shit balls. Robinhood. You talking crazy talk, Bongino? Jesus, crime in Italy. My dog gets pizza if I get pizza. My dogs eat what I eat, man, pretty much. And you can hear Doobie whining because I didn't share my cheese crackers. My cheese nips. Which just make me giggle every time I read that. I don't care. I'm 12, whatever. Fuck you. New Nabisco cheese nips. New from Kraft, it's tater tits. If I think I could get a man by rubbing bacon on my pussy, I just might do that. You know what? We have an incredible sense of smell when it comes to bacon, so I got to tell you, you're probably shooting 50-50. Yeah, dude, cheese nips, man. I fucked up like a quarter bag of them. Cheddar chinks. I can smell bacon in parts per million, all right? I live in Ohio, and you might attract me. This is a treat. Bacon kitty. Right on. Better than fish like Ford. Oh boy.
There's a separate procedure set up before information makes it to the court called the Woods procedure. The problem with the Woods procedure, which is supposed to verify this information, in the Trump case is the information wasn't verified. The Trump dossier is a steaming pile of horse crap. It's garbage. The House Judiciary, they've been smart for a while on this, but now they're finally subpoenaing the Woods file to say, hey, we want to know what you did to verify this info. Oh, that ain't going to be good, folks, because it's going to show the political nature of the verification process and the fact that they took almost no substantive steps whatsoever. But, there's a little hint dropped recently by Peter King, a Republican member of the House, who's been very sober on this. Mm-hmm. Peter King's not a screamer, folks. I met him before. I know him. I don't know him personally, but I know because I lived in Long Island for a long time, an area he represents. Peter King himself is starting to wonder with that verification process how much like John Brennan knew about this. I don't know if you hear some of the hints people have been dropping lately, but it's him and others, and the idea's been floating out there that if they were going to verify information in the dossier that came from foreign sources, Joe, who has expertise in developing intelligence overseas? The CIA, run by John Brennan. What exactly was done to verify that information? Did John Brennan have a role in it? Matter of fact, when we develop foreign sources, there's absolutely no doubt that John Brennan's CIA at the time would have had a role in that. Mm-hmm. Who were those foreign sources? Were they vetted? Were they signed off on? More to come on that one. I have that article today. It's from the Daily Caller up in the show notes too, folks. Again, I'm asking you to please read Rich Lowry's piece today about the vindication of Trumpian politics. Keep it in mind. New rules. New rules are in effect. We win, folks. We win. Throw the old rules out. Yesterday was a cataclysmic shift in our politics, but now we follow it up. Now we walk in that booth and we exercise our constitutional republic's raw political power, and we keep these people out of office, hopefully for a very, very long time. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate it. Please subscribe to the show on iTunes, SoundCloud, iHeart. It is free, but it's the subscriptions that we get that actually move us up the charts. So we really, really appreciate it. Thank you very much, and I will see you all on Monday.
You just heard
The Dan Bongino Show. The Dan Bongino Show. That's right. All right.
Louder with Crowder Studios is protected exclusively by Walther and Hopper.
Louder with Crowder Live descends upon the University of Michigan, October 25th at the Power Center in Ann Arbor. Reserve your tickets now at louderwithcrowder.com/tour. Costume contest and private Muck Club after-party details to follow. Viewer beware.
called the poking holes in the hearings from today dance because that's an hour and a half, 2 hours, 3 hours. I don't know how much of my life that I won't get back. So we're going to go through all of that here today. Sorry to Paul Joseph Watson, who won't be on the show. Sorry to Josh Wolf. We had to bump because I have so much to get to. Everything you need to know about the hearings, we wanted to dissect it and give you the need to knows along with what you'll probably be told from the media. And after this, I'm going to grab a very large vessel of beer. Did I say beer? I meant rape somebody. It's a synonym.
I do feel raped. You're right, yes.
If you look in the lexicon today. We'll get to that in a second. Question of the day before we introduce everybody. You hear the expression, they go low, we go high. Sometimes you got to rise above it. Sometimes you got to step on. That's Biggie. Tupac.
Yeah. Shouldn't Quarter Black know that?
They look similar.
Hey.
I still mix up Nas and Jay-Z. How do you go high, though? If they go low, and how do you go high if you're being falsely accused of rape? Allegedly. Comment to me, where's the line between, you know what, they go low, I'm just going to stomp him low. I'm going to soccer kick him while they go low. Producing with me, of course, we have Quarter Black Garrett here, and then we have Gerald Morgan Jr. I'm too pissed about wine today.
No wine today. Too mad.
You're actually drinking beer.
I'm going to have a beer. We all three have beer. We're all rapists, apparently.
I've got to manage this orchestra pit here. We have in third chair, Owen Benjamin, hugepianist.com, and then we have Mike Ward, who's been here all this week.
Yes.
MikeWard.ca, and your podcast is?
2 Drink Minimum Fridays on Compo Media.
2 Drink Minimum.
Whoa.
Ooh.
It's a lot of rape.
A lot of rape.
That's basically just running a train, apparently.
Non-stop rape.
Did you guys see that? We're going to get to this in a second. We're going to go through not only the hearings, but also the fact that the left, they've become the modern religious Puritans. They've become the church lady now.
How did that happen?
They equate drinking with rape, fraternities with rape, jokes with rape.
With rape.
Let me preface something, by the way. I think, can we all agree, everyone in this room, can we all agree, okay, that if Kavanaugh raped as many people who claim have raped him, life in prison?
Yeah,
behind bars?
of course. In a very, very bad prison.
Because what's it up to now? Like 119 people have claimed that he's raped them? I mean, he must be the most successful serial rapist ever.
And he's drinking 14 beers of rape.
Yes, as opposed to Quarter Black, who's drinking purple drink.
Purple drink.
Trying to get his big pass.
Oh, look.
So we're going to get into that, but of course we still have to do our job because this is the news on Wednesday. Before we get to everything else, before we get to what happened today in the hearing, Wednesday before this, there were a number of last-minute accusations against Brett Kavanaugh. So this comes from Mediaite and NBC News. The latest of whom, before we get to the hearings, she once threatened to kill her ex-boyfriend's newborn child.
Oh, that's reasonable.
Yeah, and then there was an anonymous complainant who provided no names whatsoever. So all of these people...
The kids could have wrote that in crayon and handed the note in.
Last night, before the show, all of these people, just accuser after accuser after accuser, stepped forward on the eve of the hearings. It's just, isn't it a little... We happen to have an exclusive clip of the press conference from last night.
Have we a count of the pussy hat?
We haven't made the final count, sir. I bring a message from your master, Dianne Feinstein, commander of feminists. By command of her most screeching excellency, your book deals are all but guaranteed. Your claims will not be questioned, nor subject to criminal review, and the wonderful celebrity of being a #MeToo victim is all but yours on the single condition that you identify the rapist or serial flasher as the man called Brett Kavanaugh.
I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh.
No, I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh.
No, it was me. I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh.
No, me. I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh.
I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh. I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh. I was raped by Brett Kavanaugh.
Brett Kavanaugh showed me his dinner party. Could have been someone else's.
I wasn't there, but he raped me.
Now, when was this?
Why are you questioning survivors, brah?
Where, if nothing, historically accurate.
Dude, that was awesome.
I think I heard Swedish Chef in there. Here, Herbert Kavanaugh.
My favorite is the voice that you hear of, well, of course not. He's not here. It's not Mike Ward here in studio, but I wasn't there and Brett Kavanaugh raped me. I'm peeing myself laughing. Why is there a Canadian in Spartacus?
Dude, that was hilarious.
By the way, one of the Kavanaugh accusers who came forward, I want to make sure I get this correct, it was Julie Swetnick. See, that must have been rough, regardless of rape, with that name. She made a sexual harassment complaint against her former employer, New York Life Insurance. Guess who repped her? Same firm run by Deborah Katz, who now represents Christine Ford.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's all too convenient.
So all of this, the story broke at 7 p.m. and it fell apart before Lawrence O'Donnell even had the chance to broadcast his menstrual cramps. It's 7 p.m. by 10. People go, hold on, this is the same firm. This doesn't seem to really add up. This whole thing has completely become a sideshow, and it's obviously irritated Kavanaugh, as you'll see when we get to the clips. But if he can come out of this relatively unscathed, if he's appointed, he will be the ultimate Supreme Court justice, which may explain his recent, albeit odd,
kitten tattoos. All right, hold on.
Statements.
Dianne Feinstein.
Hold on, man. I do not have kitten tattoos on my booty, all right? That's where I draw the fucking line. Yeah, you just get out the way, Bubonic. This has developed into a thing. Me and this kitty tattoo on my booty guy, we got some shit to talk about. Ain't no kitty tattoos on my booty, man. Exit only. Because I fucking know. I know, goddammit. Don't ask me how I know about my kitten tattoo. I know where my kitten tattoos are at. They're not on my butt, all right? All of my kitten tattoos are far away from my ass, okay? Yeah, and they're not even kittens. You know what I'm saying? They're not even really kittens. They're cats. They're grown. The fuck, man? I don't know. Fucking people.
When you travel to the C-SPAN broadcast hearings that you try to deny for me to clear my name, Dianne Feinstein. And when you travel to parts unknown as I speak the truth in your aircraft, Dianne Feinstein. Take the controls of that aircraft, Dianne Feinstein. Drive that plane into a nose crash, Dianne Feinstein.
By the way, that's why it still looks like I have a little bit of mascara. It's very hard to wipe that off.
Yeah.
People who
Did I bother Tanya? Holy shit!
Warrior promo.
There you go.
It all makes sense. By the way, is it judge or justice? What's the official term?
Now it's justice.
It's justice.
Yeah, he's graduated to justice because these accusations either break a man or clarify a man.
Yes. He didn't go through weeks of rape allegations to be called judge.
No. Who at this point? Who wants to be a judge on the Supreme Court anymore? This used to be a good gig to get, but
what's that job interview?
People are gonna claim you raped like a donkey when you were 7.
Whoa! Where did you come up with that?
I crossed the line. Come on.
This is the problem with having you on the look.
You're exploring.
Don't anyone throw your lot in with
I don't
him.
know.
Even you who couldn't bring a shirt that didn't. Are those fresh stains on your shirt? Or those?
It was from a shirt. I just got this shirt because I wanted a new shirt. I literally just got it for the show because I only flew with one shirt, and I'm like, I want to make sure I look presentable on Crowder.
He walks in, and I go, dude, that's twice you've shown up with a wet shirt. He goes, I just got out of shower. I said, oh, and they make towels.
I'm wicked passionate.
You bought it for this show? I picture like the first.
I bought it today for the show.
With his wife giving him a lunchbox before he gets on a Spirit Airlines plane. Okay, now be sure to make new friends.
Spirit.
I'm sitting next to a Canadian.
My wife really does that. My wife legit does that. She's like, how's your shirt? Do you have a good shirt today?
Yeah.
Yeah, because like I'm the type of guy that would just be like, why do pants matter? I know what I'm talking about.
You and Steven are kindred spirits.
Is this before or after you rape her? Just joking.
Oh,
he does it before and after.
Oh, with his beard.
No, there's nothing funny about rape. Ever. There's nothing funny about funny anymore. You know that, right, Mike? Those are the new rules.
I do know that.
He's been put before a human rights. He's the one
More so than most.
By the way, you're a legend, dude. I didn't even know that was you this morning.
Yeah.
Much love, man.
Oh, thanks.
Prime Minister hates him.
You know you're funny when you're being sued by a nation. Like, you're awesome, man. For
That's
real.
another level.
Thanks,
right.
man.
And then it'll be the next guy. He'll be sued by the First Nations.
I can't even have a dry hoodie, and you're being sued by a nation.
So in other news, before we get to more Kavanaugh, a naked man in Florida tried to start a fight club at a Chick-fil-A.
Might as well.
The story reads, the witness said a stranger was challenging her boyfriend to a fight. Then she said he took off his clothes and began yelling about people staring at his private parts. So he tried to start a fight club at Chick-fil-A. First rule of naked Chick-fil-A fight club, bro, is never show the police your dick. That's the first rule.
That is
I don't understand. And then also, second rule of naked Chick-fil-A fight club is never talk about showing people your dick. That's kind of the first rule. It's very incriminating.
It's kind of reiterating.
The headline, do we have it? The headline says Fight Club there, but in Florida, he actually named it CrossFit for gays on meth.
Yeah.
As it's known in Central Florida.
So brutal.
CrossFit.
That's good. That's good branding.
It is good branding, yeah. Every time you have any story where it says Florida, it could just be replaced with man does meth and react very predictably.
Very predictably, right?
It's like the byline is, do we need to write the rest of the story?
No, it's not even necessary at that point.
Yeah, they're trying to fluff up the obvious meth behavior.
Yes.
You know,
yeah.
I think this also could have just been like a dude tries to go gay with a guy that wasn't into it, and then covers by starting a fight club.
People are like, "Is that gay?" No, it was a fight club. This is definitely not gay. I was trying to beat him with my mouth. I was choking his dick with my mouth.
Dude, that's hilarious, bro.
I thought that was his weakest point.
I thought we were just going to grab a beer afterward. Wait, is that code?
that's
Damn it! He
rape.
solved. He had
Here
his
we go
little
again.
secret rape decoder ring.
Yeah.
Well, look, I think this is like, if you want to, Fight Club's cool, right? If you want to start Fight Club, naked Fight Club's probably not going to work. Like,
You don't know where I've been. You don't know where I've been.
This isn't like the Greeks, you know, like it's not going to work again.
Not since like the Bronze Age is it cool to fight nude.
Yeah, I don't want another man's Donecker land on me.
Okay, this is too much. But you know what? Let's get to the hearings. Let's get to the hearings because this is what this is all about. People are like, what do you do? You know why? Because we have a man whose name has been absolutely run through the mud.
Yes.
Here's something that's really important, I think, and I want to get to everyone's opinion here, and I want to hear your opinions on the hearings if you watch them. There are two things that occurred. One, there's no new evidence.
No.
By the way, keep in mind, there is zero new evidence. There is zero proof that this event occurred. Okay? Nothing today changes that. But all of the news coverage, as I was watching ABC and CNN, it's all about the optics.
Yeah.
Well, when this old white lady when this old white man, when Lindsey Graham made his comments, it's not going to, the American public won't look upon it favorably. Who cares? Are we really we're playing identity politics when we are ruining a man's life? I know what you're saying. Rape ruins a life too. Absolutely.
Right.
It's just crazy. I believe survivors. Quick question for you. How do you know they're survivors?
Shouldn't you figure that out first? Shouldn't that be the first thing we figure out?
It's like the riddle and labyrinth. What would the other guy say is the door to freedom? It's easy if one of them always lies. Not saying this woman is necessarily lying, but I am saying that the media almost invariably lies as it relates to Republicans. Any other comments before we get to the timeline? Because I've got some timelines and some clips for you that you probably won't see.
All right, so just to lead off real quick, I think we built this up too much. I think we built up the fact that she wasn't testifying, and now that she's testifying, all they're saying, like you said, is the optics game. They're just saying, oh, now that she's testifying, you have to believe her. She sounded a little choked up. You've got to believe her. She's telling the truth.
Well, that's one of the biggest problems is they're going off emotion. They're saying, well, she's crying, therefore she's right. And as someone, and this is no knock at an ex-girlfriend, but as someone who used to live with Golden Globe nominee Christina Ricci, women can lie on cue. Women can cry whenever they want. Dude, like half the girls I know are like, oh, I
think it softens it by like, let me list her accolades.
No, but it's true though. It's like women are unbelievably good at crying when, like, if you get pulled over by a cop. Like I've tried to cry to get out of a ticket, and then the cop was like, "Bro, you're not even crying convincingly."
They tried to start a fight club with you.
Yeah, we
let's just get naked and have fight club.
Yeah. Let's see who wins.
I love how you think you're softening. It's like seriously, like multiple-time Oscar nominee. Roman Polanski. I know what you're going to say. I know. All right. So let's go through Ford. So there was Ford, and then there was Kavanaugh. Let's go through the Ford timeline. A couple of things that were pretty important. First off, she can't remember who pushed her into the bedroom, either Kavanaugh or Judge. or just Kavanaugh. But then she tells Dianne Feinstein with a very scientific explanation, it's impossible for this to be a case of mistaken identity. And she uses to establish her credibility as a psychologist. Here's the thing. Kavanaugh hasn't even said that she wasn't sexually assaulted. That's not even, he's actually being more gracious than I would be at this point. But maybe there is mistaken identity. Maybe she thinks she's telling the truth. And maybe he thinks he's telling the truth. Who knows? But the point is there is zero evidence of the rape occurring. Let's continue through the timeline here. She took a polygraph in a hotel room because she was on her way to a flight. Keep in mind, these hearings were delayed because she was afraid of flying.
Whoa.
It's different when you're going to Cancun. Yeah.
No idea.
Do you know that?
No.
That's why they were delayed.
No.
Now, that doesn't make her wrong.
No.
But keep in mind, it is not our job. It is not our job to either to vindicate her accusations, to vindicate her credibility, or to condemn it. It's to get to the truth.
Yes.
Yeah.
The whole purpose for all of this shouldn't be for the circus, for the charades. It should be to get to the truth. Now, the truth is before this hearing, we had no evidence. No witnesses, no hard evidence. We didn't know a place or a date or a time or who. We still don't.
Those are important facts, by the way.
They are kind of important
very
if you're
important.
going to accuse someone of
for a
crime.
crime.
The bunch took a polygraph under high stress, blah, 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 blah. She flies. Okay, so here's something. Many, many different versions of the story she's given about how many people were present at the party. The letter says 4, but the testimony today, she said there could be more. She can't be sure. She didn't remember if the Washington Post reporters ever saw the notes or if she just summarized them verbally. She can't remember anything. Did you notice this theme today?
Wow, yeah.
She can't remember anything other than she's sure Brett Kavanaugh raped her.
That was the one point that she was able to say, yes, 100%. Everything else is a blur, but that, really?
Yeah. And I know
everything else?
Some people are trying to say, well, hold on, it's short. Like, I can't remember what I had for lunch, but I can remember things that happened in grade school. Absolutely. But this is not a question of short-term memory versus long-term memory. There are a lot of incidents, traumatic incidents, she can't remember at all. The only thing she remembers, not only does she remember very clearly that he raped her, she remembers how and the manner. Doesn't exactly remember who opened the door. Who was the one person who talked about? She talked about the laughing.
Yeah.
Talks about, I remember them laughing maniacally, like literally just, I'm raping. She can remember that in graphic detail.
If your friends are if your friend is raping someone, you're not going to laugh.
No.
Even if you are in on it, you're going to be like, what the hell's like?
Yeah, you're going to be like, this is wrong, right?
You're going to be punching and kicking said man.
Yeah.
That's the
well,
thing.
first off, you don't have a friend who rapes, but if you walk in on a friend who rapes, you're going to punch and kick said man.
Yeah,
Even if you're a rapist, like I don't think the natural response of a rapist is laughter.
The only person that'd laugh is like Borat with the naughty, naughty, but like a normal human being.
This is a caricature of a rapist.
That's a good way to put it. It's a character. It's almost like someone wrote down what they would picture a rape being.
This is the most impactful thing you can say. It was their laughter.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean it's untrue, but I'm just saying.
I can picture Feinstein like, okay, now for research before the hearing, just watch Lifetime. Watch a lot of Lifetime.
Yeah.
Michael Bay's like, is this where something blows up in the movie?
Someone gets pushed down a flight of stairs, and then you learn exactly how rape happens.
Holy shit.
Was in. Here's the. I want to show this clip here because I don't think it was a great decision for the prosecuting sexual assault attorney, and I do see obviously that Ford could be seen as a sympathetic character. I thought more so before I watched Ford. I thought, okay, the optics actually aren't good for Republicans here because of the way they've gone about this. But something that was really important, this was a pivotal turning moment. I think we have the clip of the I guess, sort of the it's I don't want to say prosecuting attorney. This isn't a trial. This isn't a trial. The whole point is a trial is to determine whether someone is guilty or not guilty. The trial's already occurred. Ford's life is ruined. The whole purpose of this was to destroy it. That's already done now. Get that thing. That's what I can't say. What do we say? Cross-exam at this point? I don't know. This was really, really pivotal. If the goal was to get to the truth, let's watch this clip. Then we have a follow-up clip.
Have you also educated yourself on the best way to get to memory and truth in terms of interviewing victims of trauma?
For me, interviewing victims of trauma?
No, the best way to do it, the best practices for interviewing victims of trauma.
No.
Okay.
She's a doctor.
It's a nice little plug for.
By the way, it's okay. You guys can laugh. It's okay. Just get into the hearings. It's okay. This is all fine.
Well, hold on. Hey, let me just stop you 1 second. I disagree with you. I think this was a great pick for her to do that. Imagine a white, 55-year-old male asking that question.
Yeah.
The optics on that are insanely bad.
It shows
For
her
having a woman
specifically.
prosecutor just saying it kind of.
You prefer the woman who looks like
do.
a librarian who would tell little boys,
I know.
Shh, you mustn't make noise or the parents will hear you.
I never made the noise, so I was fine. So I didn't really care.
Yeah, but what if it was like Anthony Hopkins?
Yes, exactly.
I would believe Anthony. I mean, he's very believable.
The rape, where did it occur? None of it happened. Here's why that's so important, because this I guess you would say prosecutor, she was saying, okay, there is a way, and there are criminal studies conducted where we know the best way to actually get to the bottom of a sexual assault. It's a forensic interview, right? She says it's typically one-on-one. You just speak, they listen, and then somebody else fills in the gaps. That's important to know, because if your goal is to get to the truth, if you're coming forward with and this is where I think everything changed, if you're talking about the truth, this is the moment of clarity for truth. Here's why, here's the follow-up.
Did anybody ever advise you from Senator Feinstein's office or from Representative Eshu's office to go get a forensic interview?
No.
Instead, you were advised to get an attorney and take a polygraph. Is that right?
Many people advised me to get an attorney. Once I had an attorney, my attorney and I discussed using the polygraph.
I'm done with this guy. So
Hold on.
The issue here, no one start questioning your friends and your representation. If the goal was to actually go and make sure that justice was served, none of your representatives told you? By the way, you're a doctor. You couldn't research the best way to actually come forward with allegations of sexual assault? Or even the most basic protocol? It's unreal to me.
Well, she had to know that she didn't have a very strong case. I mean, you have no evidence that if you went to the police with this today, you would be laughed out of.
Well, no, the point is her representation advised her against what one is advised to do when making a credible allegation of assault. That's the point here. Yeah. Everyone around her said, no, what you're supposed to do, if you want to actually get a guy convicted, do the opposite of that.
Right. That's my point. They were telling her to do something else.
Well, as someone who's, someone very close to me was actually gang raped. It's like, the convictions are so hard, and people like this make those cases so much more bogged down.
Yeah.
You know, she went to the hospital covered in bruises and cuts and all kinds of things, and nothing. 8 months later, nothing happened.
Yeah.
And it's like that's why making a mockery of rape accusations is so deeply disturbing to me.
Well, it really does shortchange women who've actually been raped.
Oh, yeah.
And of course, it hurts everybody. It hurts everybody because simply lying is accepted as believing survivors. Now, I'm not saying that every woman who comes forward is lying. Of course not. That's not what anyone is saying here. I do think she's probably lying. If I had to bet right now, and we'll get to Ford here we'll get to Kavanaugh here in a second, I'd bet he didn't do any of it.
Yeah.
None.
I would bet he didn't do any of it. I really don't. Sorry, that's just opinion, speculation, but that's all we got.
I think the issue is, does she believe it or not? Because I think the odds are 0% that it happened the way she describes.
Right.
But I want to know, is it like a collective bunch of just nonsense in her brain with circus music, or like that she believes, or is it just completely fabricated by the DNC?
Well, the point is, it doesn't matter at this point.
Exactly, of course,
it's taking place on a national stage.
Yeah, his life is his marriage, his daughters. He has 2 daughters. They're going to be mocked for this. This is insane.
Yeah.
We're watching the rape, and it's on Kavanaugh.
As though this only, that's a great point. As though this only affects men. He has 2 daughters. But anyone out there, listen, people are coming because we're going to address the Young Turks in a second. So people are coming in from that video of the Young Turks. Let me ask you this, to the female feminists, I should say, not the male feminists, the female feminists. It sounds redundant, but now there are male feminists and they delineate in the LGBTQAIP. I can't keep track of it anymore. The point is, do you not have any sons or brothers or fathers? What if someone came out and completely falsely smeared them with the worst possible crime one can commit, arguably short of murder, and there was no evidence whatsoever, and he lost his job, and he lost his reputation? Is it that hard? When we talk about putting yourself in someone else's shoes, is it that hard to do? And this is why I said I do think Ford was a sympathetic person. I think she performed, and I don't mean as performance, I mean I think she did pretty well in answering questions until Ford took the stand. Do we have until Kavanaugh took the stand? Do we have a clip of that? This is something that I think is we were all talking about here. Pretty tough to fake.
The other night, Ashley and my daughter Liza said their prayers. And little Liza, all of 10 years old.
It's hard to watch.
really hard to
said
watch.
to Ashley, we should pray for the woman. It's a lot of wisdom from a 10-year-old. We mean no ill will.
He wasn't in there with me neither. He was laying on the couch, nigger. Yeah, he was. He was on the couch. He was.
A couple of things here.
You're fucking high.
First up, that's his pray for them. Pray for the woman. That's a stark contrast from Democratic officials who called him evil.
Right.
Second, we were talking about this because obviously Ford cried somewhat as well.
Right.
You were talking about actors. As someone who can cry, who's had to do it, I think even on this program, we've done it with parodies sometimes. That's not what this is entirely conjecture. That's not what that looks like.
Right.
That was a guy, if you watch it, was on the verge and pulled it back, would drink water. That's the guy who wanted to avoid crying.
He was fighting it. He was fighting
really
the cry.
Yeah.
Whereas you can tell someone's full of BS when they're embracing the cry and go like Jimmy Kimmel when a lion gets shot. It's like that was real. That was like when I saw that earlier today, I almost started crying. Because it was so like tragic. I think about my sons. And it's such a good point you made. It's like, do women not love their fathers or brothers or sons? Or like, you're putting this out so let them just get eaten by wolves with power.
Hold on, Gerald, you were about to say
he and I think one of the things that's so heartbreaking is he shouldn't be in this position, right? Right. I think and the position isn't just being accused and having your name run through the mud and being stained with this for the rest of your life. The position is now, I have to beat her now. Like I have to win this, and I shouldn't have to. Like he doesn't wish any ill will on her. His family doesn't now, but I'm in a position where I have to fight for my life.
I have to kill all of you.
They backed him into a corner. And he doesn't want to
John
be
Wicket.
there,
He's got to be John Wick now.
Yeah.
Did you say Wicket?
John Wicket.
Yeah,
it's a verb. It's where you kill everybody because someone killed your dog.
Wicket. You were getting the pirated version. That was like my parents, and we had a fake Batman film because they didn't want us to watch the real one. And I was talking with all my friends at school. Yeah, it was because I was like 6.
That's where they drew the line?
Yeah, they let me watch the actual Batman. So I was talking about, actually, no, it wasn't a fake one. It was the old Batman film. The one with Adam West and Robinson. We're talking about all these scenes, and my friends were like, that never happened. I'm like, yeah, don't you remember? It was in the movie last year.
With the Sharks.
All right. So, timeline on Kavanaugh. He said he wanted to see, this is all, again, I really highly recommend you go watch this. I know it's long. Go watch it. Watch it on 2 times the speed if you have to. He said he wanted a hearing as soon as possible to clear his name, demanded a hearing the next day. It took 10 days. And as he predicted, his family and his name have been permanently destroyed. Which is, again, he talked about his 10-year-old daughter talking about praying for the woman, so that does seem like a wise girl. He runs through something I think a lot of people miss here, and he pointed out. And if you watch it, I think you might have your aha moment. He runs through. I have this at around. I have timelines here, but it may not make sense for you because they'll re-upload it from C-SPAN. So I'm just going to ignore the time codes. But he runs through how often he's been vetted by the FBI in the confirmation hearings after he was appointed to the federal bench by Bush. Do you have any idea the kind of vetting that goes into this?
Insane.
I think a lot of people don't realize this isn't like, what do you think? What do you think about the color blue? Okay, sounds fun. Like this is really, really as hard as it gets. The vetting here, and that's why President Trump is so confident. Yeah. That's why everyone in the administration is so confident. The media goes, well, I wouldn't be so confident if I were them, and they're like, nah, we're pretty confident.
Yeah. Well, and she had her chance at every single one of those other confirmation hearings that he had to go through, every one of those positions that he was appointed to. If he's really that evil of a person, why was it the Supreme Court? He can do a lot of stuff at a federal court, right? In another position that he
without
can
a spotlight.
I mean, if a guy raped me at a house party and I found out that he was going to manage the Kroger down the street, I'd be like, oh my God, he's going to rape so many people.
Exactly, right?
Let me stop him before he makes it to shift manager.
That's all I would talk about forever.
Yes.
Yeah. I'd be like, Bernie Sanders raped me.
Yes.
And he did. He did rape me. I don't know where it went.
Can't prove it.
Can't prove he didn't. Can't prove a negative.
Right.
I'm really upset by how this show is going.
It's mirroring system.
Another thing he says that he started keeping. I thought this was really important because again, if this were a trial, then it could be proven, but nobody cares because they move on to the next thing. He said that he started keeping calendars and diaries in 1980 since his dad made a practice of it, and he points to his calendars that he wasn't at the supposed party in the summer of 1982. Now, in a court of law, they would say, hold on a second, does this hold up? They would be able to look, they would be able to cross-reference and see if he did have a track record of writing diaries and journals, and if they added up, that's kind of how they figured out the Bible. They said, hold on a second, was it written when they claimed that it was written, particularly like the New Testament? Was there, the standard of apostolicity? There's a process for this, and this does happen in a court of law. Diaries and journals, if proven to be valid, can be brought in as evidence. But guess what? Here it can't. But that's the most valid piece of evidence that was brought up all day.
That's the only piece of evidence that was
But it
brought
won't be
up.
talked about. It'll be talked about. But did you see when her lip went like this? And his chin only went like this.
There's only half those.
Assholes. All right. What else? I thought was really funny was Feinstein asked why he didn't want the FBI to investigate, and he immediately said that he did. Did you watch that?
I didn't.
No?
I didn't see that.
I feel like everyone got really quiet now. Is it because did I rage? Did I rage?
No, it's because I was thinking about the fact I should keep a journal.
Yeah.
That's serious. I was like, I gotta
right now.
Every single guy should keep a journal on every single thing that he does and the people that are around him because of crap like this. This is a Salem
every
witch
now and then
trials,
make
and you
sure
got to
you write in
prove that
there,
you're not a witch.
I don't like rape.
Still against rape.
Still don't like rape.
That's the next
Still.
episode of Doug. Dear Journal, I don't like raping people. Remember, Patty Mayonnaise is safe. What were you going to say there, Owen? I'm just looking through my notes.
Patrice O'Neill used to have a joke about how he would buy something every 20 minutes in case someone accused him of rape.
Yeah.
It's like, I was buying gum.
Yeah.
Why does Patrice O'Neill sound like Norm?
In my head, everyone's Norm.
Oh my gosh.
Was he also B.I.G.? Were they one and the same?
He might have been the same guy.
Wow.
All right, I think we're good. By the way, it's still the same thing. Kavanaugh says he wasn't there at all.
Yeah.
Completely denies
Nothing
it.
in the story
The
changed.
only evidence would be I would love to see that diary or that journal. Okay, here's something else that I...
Look, I just want to say for the record that we should not rape. Nobody should be raping anybody, okay? You fucking silly bastards out there running around raping people, just cut it the fuck out. Don't be raping anybody. I don't want to be raped. Claude Balls doesn't want to be raped. Nobody wants to be raped, okay? You're not fulfilling a good niche in society. Don't be raped though. You can fake whatever you want. I'm just saying don't be raped, Yeah, seriously, no raping. Cuz apparently we have to give that message cuz nobody knows that it's not okay to rape. So that's right. No raping. God damn it. When you people stand up in front of God and he's like, "Did you ever rape anybody?" If you got to say yeah, you're going to be in trouble, mister. Was out buying gum? Nigga, you should have been in here raping motherfuckers. Rape is bad, okay? That's right. Let's not rape anybody. Let's not be brain raping, game raping, word raping. I can word rape a motherfucker. I got words to go. God damn it, TJ. This is not the time for a discussion about contractual law. All right? We're emoting here, mister. There's no room for your logic in our emotions, all right? The Rape-ticon. Holy shit. Is there an emoticon for rape? I never thought about that. I bet there is on Vaughn. Holy shit, man. Nobody should be raping anything. Rape is generally... there's always grapes. Yeah, dude, that's when there's a bunch of them. You said you got raped, ma'am? Nope, I got graped. There was a bunch of them. Whatever. God, you guys are terrible. We're never going to be mainstream. God damn it. Whatever. Just watch this crap. I don't know.
I had actually written out some of this yesterday before these hearings took place, and we just said, let's just make this a long first segment because a lot of people are going to want to know what's going on, and they're not going to want to watch 3 hours of C-SPAN. But it's so funny to me that the left demonize, Christianity and this idea of this antiquated morality. But they've become the new Puritans. They've become the pearl-clutching, perpetually offended. They're the church lady.
Yep.
Could it beer drinking? Could it be rapist? That's what's happening now. So this is it really is out just let's look at some of the boogeymen that I'm talking about sparking the outrage. And they've had to use these plays now, right? With Kavanaugh. Yeah. So let's hold them to it. Boogeyman number 1, drinking of the alcoholic beverages. So, Kavanaugh said that he didn't drink in high school and not to excess in college. So leftists are clamoring for an investigation into his drinking habits in high school and college. I think we have a clip, don't we, from the news? This is an actual, and by the way, this is something that I had this morning, right? I had this in the show map this morning, and then just as I was getting ready to walk in, there was continued commentary. I heard someone on CNN say, "A constant theme seems to be that Kavanaugh likes his beer." What? They're using the playbook that we wrote about as their playbook in the morning at night. Let's go to the clip.
I drank, but basically as a senior, he said, because the legal drinking age was 18. May have had a few too many, but never forgot anything. Never drank to excess so that I blacked out. Never did anything like what anyone is saying.
Chris, I just think it's absolutely unbelievable, and I think the American people are smarter than this. You cannot reconcile the individual in the Fox News interview with the individual who wrote what he wrote in his yearbook.
You don't have Chris Cuomo in Canada, do you, Mike?
No.
You're lucky.
No,
lucky.
yeah.
Jennifer Rubin, I think we have one of her tweets here. And then Slate said that Kavanaugh's drinking should be investigated.
Really?
That's not new, by the way. I think it was what Martin Bashir asked Andrew Breitbart when Andrew Breitbart was just absolutely, figuratively raping him, not literally. What's your relationship like with alcohol? And I remember Andrew Breitbart stopped there. He goes, well, why are you asking me this? I thought we were talking. Just a question.
Are there studies that alcohol leads to rape? That's the dumbest thing I've ever heard.
No, it leads to high-fiving.
Yeah, exactly.
It leads to wine sales for me. So
in my mind, rapists are aggressive. Whenever I drink, I'm happy and I'm mellow.
Yeah,
I'm the same exact way.
I think it's probably more so the CrossFitters on meth who are doing the rape.
Yeah.
I'm sure bad sexual decisions, but they've also tried to define drunken sex as rape. By that. They say a woman cannot consent if she's drunk. If that's the case, I've been raped by my wife.
Yeah,
tons of times.
I mean, everyone here who has a wife has probably been raped at some point.
I look forward to it.
I've raped myself before. Everything is rape.
Sometimes it has to be rape when it's myself. Haven't been to the gym in a few weeks. Gotta go lefty and look the other way. It's because I feel bad.
I don't think people understand how hard it is to write comedy right now. Like, that was a joke this morning. Like, satire to reality is 6 hours now.
Right now, where he said, she said, about, where he said, she said, not even about the rape, no, about beer. Yeah. Beer drinking is national news. Even if you think he's lying, are we seriously asking the FBI to act as the Oppo research arm of the DNC and investigate people who maybe drank a beer in college? And here's the thing, too. I knew people will say, well, Stephen, hold on. You talked about how you don't. It's true. I don't drink to excess. I never went to parties in high school. And I typically don't like to get drunk or drink too much around strangers and put myself in a situation that could be compromising. That's absolutely true. But you can bet your ass that as soon as we're done taping this show, Owen, Gerald, Mike, and I are going to tie it. We're going to have a party.
Heck yeah, baby. Well, and they're trying to make it seem
there
like
might be a little rape.
Well, look, all consent. Don't worry.
Listen, I'm not going to be here unless there's some gay rape, also known as grape.
Hold on.
Oh, that's a terrible.
Come on, that was a fun pun.
How did you do it? With my grape nuts. First rule of gay rape. You never talk about.
Never talk about.
Never talk about gay rape.
That's true. And don't try to start a fight club with it. Look, they're trying to paint a picture that this is Animal House and he's running around yelling toga, toga, and drinking beers until he's like blackout drunk all the time. Just you're grasping at straws. It is so obvious that you're grasping at straws.
But talk about puritanical outrage.
Yeah, it's unreal.
Remember this, teenagers? Remember this, teenagers? Where it used to be, Rock Against Bush and NoFX and Green Day, and now you got every single celebrity lining up. They had Times most 100 most influential people in the entertainment industry. I think something like 70 of them went out of their way to make jabs at Donald Trump. So when they talk, Rage Against the Machine, the left the DNC, the party of Bernie Sanders and Santa Maria Nina Pinta Cortez, they want to disqualify you for a job in government if you ever had a beer in college.
And then you got Obama being like,
Booker.
And Obama's like, yep, I had some blow.
Yeah.
And then I did some more blow.
Weed is now okay.
With a domestic terrorist.
Beer is not okay.
What the good news is, I think it's going to wake up young males to live a life more like yours. I'm going to have my kids live a better life because honestly, because now you can't take the risk. It's like, be with one woman, don't drink to excess, like don't put yourself in compromising positions. It's oddly having a very conservative backlash in a good way. Like that's the silver lining.
It is true. Here's the thing, though. It doesn't matter if you don't put yourself in compromising situations if they just make up rape.
They just make stuff up.
I've told people, I'm like, you can read things that are offensive. You can see things from pitch meetings that are probably far too racist, far too homophobic, far too transphobic, far too vulgar for the show that never make air. And I'm sure there's some dick pics floating around. Wait, Stephen, is this you? Probably. It was an ongoing joke in the office. We're like, oh my gosh, you have to see this article. And you send it to your friends. So listen, there you go. That's the dirt on me. Go, run wild with it. I did, and took a picture. And the next one, Boogeyman number 2. Now, all of a sudden, the left cares about virginity. Have you noticed this?
Yeah.
They're like, they're claiming that he wasn't really a virgin because one of Kavanaugh's friends came forward claiming that he had a conversation in their freshman year of college where Kavanaugh said that it's a guy saying a freshman year of college, we had a conversation where he, here's a clip, too.
So you're saying that through all these years that are in question, you were a virgin?
That's correct.
Never had sexual intercourse with anyone in high school?
Correct.
And through what years in college, since we're probing into your personal life here?
Many years after. I'll leave it at that.
This guy.
Man, life comes at you fast. A week ago, this guy was cruising to a lifetime on the Supreme Court, and now he's on TV like, I was a virgin well into adulthood, okay? Is that what you want to hear? Have I embarrassed myself enough for you?
What's funny is he actually, in that one clip, weaponized virginity and then subsequently admitted to weaponizing virginity, like lifted the curtain back right away. Like, nothing to see behind the curtain. Just kidding, it's me, I'm a dick. Right away.
I know, and these are the same people doing Oscar-nominated movies about sodomy with a minor.
I know. By the way, hit the notification bell if you're subscribed on YouTube because you may not actually get anything in your subscriptions. And join Mug Club if you're watching this on the YouTube. $99.69 annually for veterans, students, active military because YouTube might shut us down for this. Who knows? They might say you made some rape jokes, but the pedophile channels are still up. You can also subscribe on iTunes. Let's assume again that Kavanaugh's lying.
Yeah.
Does his virgin status in college or high school, does that somehow disqualify him from being in the Supreme Court? If he lied about his sexual conquests, or if he lied about being a virgin, I mean, if these are the rules, then no one who ever told a tall tale to impress a buddy could be able to get a job.
It'd be over. You'd be done.
By the way, this is something that conservatives have long advocated for. So now it's funny to me that the left, again, they're the puritanical pearl. They're going, but he said he was a virgin. Maybe he had sex when he was 17. How could we possibly have him as a Supreme Court justice? I wrote about not having sex until I was married. Guess what? It was the left who mocked me at all of us mercilessly.
I remember that, Amy Schumer.
Here's a clip. Look back when she was thin. Go.
Well, it's a kid who's, 23. You don't know who you're going to be sexually yet. You slip by the dirty comedian thing, but honestly, you call yourself a comedian, but you don't do it that much. Like, I go fishing a couple times a year, but I don't introduce myself on TV as a fisherman.
Wow.
Well, this got really personal for a concept about abstinence.
What's funny is, well, it's not funny, but man, it's kind of, she's pining for the days back when she looked like Amanda Bynes' slightly more retarded cousin. That for her was a step up. She's like, I wish I could get back to that.
Dude, you look younger. She looks like an orca. Like literally the difference in that clip is you have a different haircut. She's gained 150 pounds.
I know, and she's miserable too. And
miserable.
I remember when we first did that, everyone just, and I listen, rightfully so. Some people really didn't like my opinion, but it changed. We're like, oh wow, she really did prove to be exactly what he was kind of discussing in the article. Was the idea that the last taboo was some sort of idea of moral, non-moral ambiguity. What's the word I'm looking for non-ambiguity? Moral clarity. What? Moral clarity.
Fortitude.
What you don't have right now, clarity.
I do not have clarity right now.
Yeah, I remember when you did that. You actually wrote an article too that got a lot of buzz.
That's what that's what we were arguing about right there.
From the article.
Yeah,
Okay,
she tried to rake me over the coals for the article. She was like, well, I just think that it was really judgmental. Really? Do tell. Mike, and guess why you think it was judgmental? Right. Probably because you're kind of slutty. People get mad at me if I say it, but her whole bit is like, my vagina smells like a barnyard animal because it sex with so many people. So I'm like, haha, that's slutty.
Oh.
How dare you?
How dare you?
Animal.
Think about this, though. They're trying to see mere sex, losing the virginity. They're trying to equate it with gang rape.
Yeah.
With gang. Oh, what? You were sexually attracted to a young woman, and you both engaged in mutual. It must be like that scene in The Warriors where the baseball furies rammed up someone's posterior. By the way, it's in the director's cut. I know people are going to start searching for it. It's just crazy to me. There's no equivalent, even if he lied about it. Okay, yeah. Finally, number 3, because this brings us to the lovely, their boogeyman number 3. Jokes. Gone are the days of liberals like Lenny Bruce, because we all know that the left wants comedy to die a slow and painful death, whether by putting you in front of a human rights tribunal and fining you, what was it, $50,000?
42.
42.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
That's what we call, that's throwing a hard right, but the jab is just you shouldn't say that,
Yeah.
And that's what we get here in the States right
now.
now.
And the jab is probably worse.
Yeah.
Because
I don't know, man. 42 grand.
Well, yeah, but I'm not going to pay it though.
Good for you.
Yeah.
I hope you look good in stripes.
Yeah.
The thing is, but okay, this is the Young Turks. They decided to finally sack up and attack yours truly. And some people saying, are you going to respond? So, okay, why not? Here you go. This is how they think about comedy.
Okay, so he called her a lying whore, and he also accused her of calling someone a rapist with no evidence. She did not call anyone a rapist. She accused attempted rape. Those were her allegations. But more importantly, there was evidence. There were notes. Where she had spoken to her therapist on 2 different occasions in 2012 regarding these allegations. And so there's that.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that she took a lie detector test. That
is inadmissible.
Is considered evidence. But nonetheless, Steven Crowder, I mean, this is what you can expect from trash like him.
he has a name.
What? Ow, trash human being. Because you're better than me. I get it. Okay. I get it, okay?
Am I the only one that saw that Ford sounded like a Valley Girl too? Is that bad?
No, I saw that.
I didn't want to say
Let me clarify this,
Sure,
by the
she's
way.
not
She's talking about me, talking about Ford. I did refer to Ford as a lying whore in a callback joke from Wednesday that I made, and I subsequently used the joke to explain the context of false accusations and how they can hurt people, and I make no apologies. The context was, I said, listen, if you're just going to say rapist or attempted rapist, lying whore.
Yeah.
Look, we can both play that game. I make no apologies. I walk it back 0. Do I think she's a whore? I have no evidence of that. If I had to make a guess, I don't know. 50-50. The point is, lying whore is a pet name compared to rapist. That's the point. We're just throwing out baseless accusations. Yeah. Fine. By the way, that should be the default if you're just going to yell out rape with no evidence. She continues to proceed with evidence that is not evidence. What's so funny, too, is the evidence in quotations that she mentions, it actually served as the setup for everything she just mentioned was the setup to the joke that I delivered on Wednesday. See for yourself. This is Wednesday's joke. The attorney's story conflicts with Ford's, if I'm not mistaken.
Very true.
And an attorney originally said that Ford would like to testify. An attorney Ford put on retainer in August, at which point she took a lie detector test for an accusation she claimed she was never going to make publicly at all. And investigators, by the way, should say that it should be noted there is still the possibility of Ford being allegedly a dirty lying whore. It's almost like she didn't watch the original joke at all.
And she just makes a claim. She's doing exactly what this person Ford is doing.
Okay, we're going next clip. Next clip.
No, it's a signal to his misogynistic viewers. Never respect a woman.
Yes,
I like massages.
Hey, but Madison, I think, is in the studio with Too Cute Maddie with overlays.
Can't get her in the shot.
She understands that. You understand. Just yell it out. You understand that when I say lying whore, that it's just specifically about the lying whore in question and not all women, correct? Of course. Okay, all right.
There we go. We got her.
Get her in the shot. Come in the shot.
And I don't think Ford ever got paid. I think it was all pro bono.
It's terrible.
Oh, my gosh.
But it's funny. I'll allow it. Here's the funny thing. It's a call to all my misogynist viewers. I want you to do me a favor, okay? First, you have to go watch the Wednesday show is behind the Mug Club. So join Mug Club. You can go watch the original Wednesday joke or watch last week's show on Thursday. Then I want you to compare last week's show on YouTube, the closing segments about my wife and finding a good woman and what women need to look for in a good man and how men should treat women. Yes. Compare that with Chank's own notorious quotes about whores in training which, by the way, was not even a joke. I think we have it here from Huffington Post, in case you forgot about that. Whores in training, I think, is the actual term, correct?
Yes. Yeah.
Anyway, funny thing is, actually, Cenk says that this program, a comedy show, is. He goes on to say that we're averse to factual information. Well, just hear him say it.
But look, you got your audience who doesn't believe in facts, so they're probably willing to believe anything you say.
I might have to don the fat suit again. On Joe Rogan, I said I wouldn't do it anymore. But listen, you come on the show for debate. I know it's kind of punching down at this point, right? Despite the 20 million from Al Jazeera, but
it's an actual.
It might just for the fun of it. Maybe we can have them on the show. But there's an audience who hates facts. Hold on a second. I just want to make sure because we ask you to call us on our sources of information, which we provide you. Does he mean facts like this?
Most allegations in that field are overwhelmingly true, meaning that the great majority of the allegations, when you go to court, prove to be true. So if there are stats on it, and so but
we didn't pull them up.
The cases that are true greatly outweigh the ones that are false. So if you're gonna say anything at all, you would say
like a turtle without a shell.
Hey, you know what? It doesn't mean that every accusation is true, because some are not, but the overwhelming majority are. Right? That would be factual. But instead, he turns it around. I'm not saying everyone who says rape is false, but come on, right?
You got two in there.
Oh, is that what you mean by fact? Young Turks? By the way, Young Turks could mean the people who carry out the Armenian genocide, I think, which I know you deny because that's a fact. Or it could mean, I think, like sort of it also is used as a colloquialism for young anti-authoritarian, young rebels, because nothing's more rebellious than Bernie Sanders. Is that a fact? Any references? By the way, the Young Turks, this entire program is run on the budget of just, I think, their on-air salary. And you can't do one overlay or source? And by the way, I didn't say any of those things. It's a fact that Steven's saying not everyone. So they hate facts. And what I mean by facts is Steven never said that everyone who comes forward with an allegation of rape is lying. But really, it's a fact, right, that he meant it. I didn't say it, I didn't mean it, dummy.
Dude, it's like this guy is like, oh, yeah, Steven's just authoritarian. It's like, this show is funded by people getting mugs. Their show is funded by foreign caliphates.
It's really tough to make that argument.
And I'm going to corroborate something. I just went on tour and the whole thing sold out, and a ton of fans are your fans.
Awesome.
And some of them are, like, most of them are literally the nicest people. A lot of married couples, a lot of women, a lot of men, a lot of people that are just good-hearted. So if you were an actual misogynist, I think there's a lot of people that don't quite, they didn't get the dog whistle.
Yeah, exactly. It's like hey, hold on, no, it's a dog whistle. It doesn't work.
Yeah.
It's like, it would be like a rape whistle that only calls more rapists. I think this rape whistle's defective. It does exactly what it's intended to do.
Just give it some time.
But say something.
Look, I think this is a bad move on their part. We were just beginning to let them go away.
Yeah.
We were just beginning to
still am going to let them go. They're still going to go away.
I know they still
them.
are, but I mean, it's so desperate to like pick on the most fact-based show out there.
Here's, and we're going long today because this was such a big event, and we're going to have a shorter interview with Nicole Arbour after this and a short wrap-up. But I don't want to get into the whole Young Turks, he said, she said here, because there's no need to get personal.
Steve Crowder is a gross person.
I hear high-pitched voices are really funny, so congrats on that.
Steven Crowder, I mean, this is what you can expect from trash like him.
It's a signal to his misogynistic viewers. No one cries more than a conservative.
Well, crap. All this for a joke based on hearsay, but it's just, again, go back to it's okay. When the Young Turks go low, we'll go high. The Young Turks, and unfortunately Samantha Bee, other self-professed comedians, they want to watch comedy die a slow, painful death. They want this is the party of people who want to destroy anyone who has a beer in college, anyone who loses their virginity later in life, or who doesn't lose their virginity later in life, but maybe lies about it, or just all around whenever you lose your virginity, you're a bad person. They equate it to gang rape, and they want you to think if you're in a fraternity, you should be shamed, or that telling a joke is the equivalent to rape. These are the new pearl-clutching church lady Puritans. That's what the left is. There's been a complete flip in the culture. I miss the old days. Back when the left at least used to be fun. Pre-nose job, I think is when they were. It's like a sundial. They go low, we go high.
Ouch.
Dude, look at
Up the sniffer. Let's check back in, by the way, with future Justice Kavanaugh.
And when you bring forward your accusations of gang rape that are unsubstantiated, Michael Avenatti, know this, that I will be appointed to the Supreme Court of the United States. And then you will feel the power coursing through the veins and the power that Kavanaugh will.
I don't know if that's going to end so well for him.
No, he looks angry.
No, I don't want him to squander his lead. All right, we're going to have Nicole Arbour after this to talk about all this, and then after that, we'll wrap this up. Thank you so much, hugepianist.com and MikeWard.ca.
Now, like any commercial break, this announcement is for the fans of the Louder with Crowder program. The viewers, listeners, and downloaders joined all together under the umbrella of comedy. And I hope a lot of you guys and gals were listening out there, because I have something I want you to do for me. October 25th at 7 p.m. at the University of Michigan's Power Center in Ann Arbor, Louder with Crowder will be broadcasting live. Now, I know, it's murder asking you to leave your computers and smart devices for a live show in 2018. And certainly a performance this high energy is no cakewalk, although it shouldn't be too tough for those in the Michigan area to attend. But remember this. All the leftists, social justice warriors, and professional protesters in Michigan are trying to stop this show from happening. They tried to run us out in a rail last time at SMU, and now we're offering you a chance to rub it right in their face and fill up this whole damn theater with laughter, which is the nicest gift you'll ever get from the nicest live show you'll ever see. Oh, and they won't know what to do with themselves. Because what do you do with a protester when he won't stop being a little bitch? It seems this campus really would enjoy laughing at 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 small protesters unemployed. Remember then, your objective is University of Michigan, 7 o'clock, October 25th at the Power Center. Doors open at 6. Synchronize your watches for Operation Louder with Crowder.
So actually, the reason they used to do this fighting stance, a big reason for it, we were like, this doesn't make. The fight in Irish is exaggerated and stupid.
Those are broken.
But this, a big reason for it was because they had to protect their body a lot more in bare knuckle fighting, because they would go to the body more, otherwise they would break their hands because they didn't have gloves back then. So it was more like this. It wasn't like this. You know, that's
this is a broken.
Yeah, that's please like kick my ass territory. Yeah. Okay, our next guest, really glad to have her on, and I'm sorry that by the way, again, to Paul Joseph Watson, to Josh Wolf, just with the hearings going on today, it's been an absolutely insane day. But our next guest, I know, has a lot to say about it. You can follow her on the Twitter at Nicole Arbour, and her new book is How to Lose the Excuses and Effing Win Already, because we're FCC compliant. Nicole, how are you?
Hey, I'm amazing, but I'm actually legitimately so pissed off right now.
Okay, first let me give you the floor as to why are you so pissed off? Because we've been told that there are no women in your shoes, that everyone agrees that this woman, that we should believe survivors / accusers always.
First of all, hello Mug Club, and those of you who know me, I am not on any side. I like the truth. Right. And I'm currently witnessing the character assassination of someone based on something with no facts, and it's insane. And the voice, when I saw her using her voice, like, women use this voice when we want two things. Either we want something or we're trying to get away with something. That's the only time women use that voice. That is
highly speculative, but I will defer to the expert witness on that, the one lady here right now.
As a woman, I'm telling you it's true.
She's a doctor. You stop your talk. She's a doctor.
Do you know what she's a doctor of, for real?
I think she's a psychologist, right? A clinical psychologist.
Has no idea how to do it, though.
No, I think she is, yeah.
It's taken her 30 years to get over some guy maybe touching her boob, and she's a psychologist.
Well, the allegations are a little bit more serious than that. Okay, but it's important, though, that we get to the truth, like we're talking about.
Yes.
We just discussed this. It's all about optics. If you watch CNN or ABC, all they're going is, this doesn't, look at all of these white guys questioning this. Well, hold on a second. This isn't a setup. These are elected officials when you're talking about that, right? And it wasn't a great decision to have a prosecutor, the prosecutor who they had, but I do think it was very, very key when she asked, for me, we just talked about this, the key moment, I don't know if you've been following this today, was where she said, are you aware that the best way to basically get to the bottom of these kinds of allegations is a forensic interview? And she explained to her what it was. And Ford said, that makes sense. And she said, mm-hmm. Did any of your representation advise you to take part in a forensic interview? And she said, no. I'm going, there you go. If you're looking for the truth, if you're looking to make it stick, that's what you do. And she was advised not to do it. That to me is so pivotal.
She's gotten more coaching than Serena Williams did, and she's not in trouble for it. Like, she can't answer a question without deferring to the guy. And for me, when I have truth to tell, and I think most women, because we like to go on rants, it's easy to bring it out. It's easy. I feel like she's overthinking, and it is all about optics. And as you know, intelligent human beings, we should say, we're character assassinating a man for life. We should be able to step back and ask for facts. And asking for facts doesn't mean we don't believe women. It means we believe women who can prove it. Right. And I think there has to be some kind of proof. Like, where are her friends from the school? Where's anything? There's nothing. I can't fly. I'm scared of flying. You flew for your vacation last week. That's totally different. Probably not.
I
don't know. I'm actually angry about this.
Well, hold on a second. You're actually in the minority here, because even a lot of conservative women, and myself included, I did think that she came off as a somewhat sympathetic figure. You don't seem to think that at all.
Nope. I think that something happened to her in her life, but it wasn't this. So I like to study people's physicalities. I like to study all of this stuff. I like to study psychology. It's actually my favorite thing to do. I'm 10 years into my studies of it. I believe something happened to her that triggered all of these emotions. I don't believe it was this, and I don't believe it was him. I think that she had some kind of trauma go on, and then you defer the trauma over to something that kind of gives you the biggest story, because that's where you get your payout. Yeah. And people can disagree with me, and they will, and that's fine, but I don't think this happened. My gut is telling me that he didn't do this.
No, and I understand. And listen, that's speculation, and we'll both readily admit that, because here's the truth. Yeah. There is no evidence. None. It's all speculation at this point. When people say, believe survivors.
They asked the friends.
Yes. Yeah.
And they all said no. Every single person that was questioned that she said is her witnesses have said they don't have any recollection of that happening.
And by the way, that's also the least reliable form of evidence if there were one witness. So at this point, if we've got 3 people saying, no, and one person comes forward, that would not be enough. Here's my question. Here's a riddle for you. Believe survivors. Okay. How do we know they're survivors?
Okay, so I'm going to preface this with, I have been through sexual assault many a time, and I don't believe that there's a woman out there, usually, who hasn't had some form of that, whether it's harassment, assault, worse. You don't have to be believed, but you do have to move on. And I think that powerful women, which is what the whole Me Too movement is about to me, is about us taking our power back. We'll see that as a moment in time that you need to move forward from in order to be a survivor and not a victim forever. Right. And I just really want people to do that and not sit in that moment of something that happened.
Well, I also think it's important not to conflate sexual assault or even sexual harassment and rape. Those are 2 very different things, especially when you're talking about gang rape. People saying he was literally cocking his head back, laughing while they ran a train on this person. It's like, this is as sinister, as evil as it is. I started the show with this. If all of the people who have come forward and accused Kavanaugh of raping them are telling the truth, and it is proven, life in prison. In the worst prison possible. Reopen Alcatraz just for that son of a bitch. I just want to make sure that my points are clear here. But nothing yet. Let me ask you this. You talked about this, and you got some blowback for it. You said that there should be, I think the term was purge deadline at some point for accusations made against a person?
Yeah. I think, there's Me Too, there's all Believe Women, and yes, there are so many a-holes out there that need to come to justice. Let's set a deadline. Let's say, women, this is your time. Take the floor. Or men, whatever's happened to you, you have until October 30th. Devil's Night, just saying, I think it's good. And anything after that, I don't want to hear it. I don't think this should be drawn out forever and wait until someone's running for a high office that these stories suddenly come out in this awkward but interesting timing.
But also, by the way, this guy was a judge, was a high-ranking judge. It's like, well, I just didn't want any lives to be damaged. You saw him sitting with the gavel as a powerful judge for decades, and you didn't think maybe then you should speak up? I mean, what if that's the case, if this is true, how many women did he rape in his judge quarters? You know what I mean? Like, at what point is enough power enough?
If I'm at a party and I think someone's running a train on a woman gang raping her, I'm going to do something. Because that's the kind of woman I am. I mean, I'm either going to leave and call the police, or I'm going to get a gun or get someone with a gun. I'm not going to continue to go to these parties where they're spiking the punch with drugs and be like, whoops, it was my turn. Like, this just I'm sorry that this is how I get angry. These facts are bad.
I understand.
They don't help.
And by the way, you know what? Most men would do something. You know why? Because rape culture is a myth. Most men go, oh, wait a second. Someone raped her in the back. Hey, I have a sister, or I have a mother, or I have a daughter, or I have a wife. And they say, no. I'm not going to let people gang rape somebody in the next room. This idea that men have a secret meaning, like, hey, listen, secretly, we all like rape. Laugh like Bert and Ernie. We don't. We despise it.
Bert and Ernie are gay, by the way. That came out last week.
Yeah, I know. And I'm pretty sure that one of them is I'm pretty sure that Ernie is the one who's Bert is blinking Morse code like, help me. I think that he's being raped continually in that dungeon. I don't think that
because of rape culture.
Yes. Yes. I think
all men are not bad. And I have had bad things happen to me. And I feel like, I can speak on it because I have. All men aren't bad. And I hope that your female viewers know that just because one guy was a horrible person doesn't mean all men are. And we shouldn't have that in our mind and prejudge, say, a judge on something that happened to us in the past. He is not that guy. And I think that that's what's happening right now. And it's really sad. And I'm excited to, see how this all pans out. And I hope the right thing happens. But all guys aren't bad. Rape culture, I don't know. I don't subscribe to the victim mentality. I just don't.
Well, I think that's an important point of view for people to hear. And listen, there is a victim culture and there is being a victim. And if you are raped, obviously, if someone has sex with you against your will, that's what rape. Yeah. You're a victim. You're a victim of rape.
In that moment. Well, you don't have to continue to be a victim for the rest of your life. There's these stories of these harrowing women from, say, Africa who were mutilated and had horrible things happen. And then they go on to have these amazing freaking lives and help, teach other women they can too. Those are heroes. Yeah. Coming out and crying for however many years is not a hero. Take those tears, put them into something. I'm not worried about the casting couch. I'm going to effing buy it so that guys can't do that to me anymore.
Yes, but you still think they should file an actual report and do the forensics interview.
Report, do all the stuff, and then you, as a strong woman, have to move on. That's what needs to happen.
Yes,
put them behind bars, move on.
I had my ass grabbed one time by a gay makeup artist at a place that shall not be named. Yeah, he was Israeli, and he said, "My boyfriend has the cute buttocks like you." Except he didn't say buttocks. I'm actually cleaning this up. Isn't it? It's weirder that I said buttocks. It makes it so much worse than what he actually said. And grabbed it, and I mean like an actual cuppage and pinch, and I went, and I moved on with my day. I know it's not exactly the same, but the point is,
you are gay bait, Crowder.
Yes, I am gay bait.
You're a standard gay bait.
A 32 waist, but a 38 ass. This is just. I should have been a catcher in Major League Baseball.
You could be in a Kanye video.
And riding a motorcycle backwards. We can figure that out. Listen, I appreciate you taking the time, and I do think it's important to separate because people, again, just like the Young Turks did with my joke about Christine Ford earlier this week, which I apologize for, zero. I was thinking, okay, we'll go back to that in the closing segment, but I do want to separate between. What was that?
I said lots of words. Don't know what you mean. I'll look into it.
Yeah. You'll see the previous segment, which just when this show is archived because we just talked about it. It was a whole long thing. I don't want to get back into it because Annika's
I'm sorry.
only going to get me mad.
Sorry.
But I do want to make sure that people don't give you flack. You're differentiating between, yes, doing the right thing, going through the proper legal channels, of course, in a sexual crime, and then also moving on, being as productive as you can with your life. Both can be true. You can be a victim of rape, do the right things, and then also not allow it to define you. I don't want to. I'm not trying to speak for women here, but I just want to make sure that people don't give you flack for something you didn't say, because that often happens on this show because it's the show.
Thank you. It does. Yeah, and I apologize that I'm not haha comedian Nicole today. I'm very upset about what's going on. I'm very affected because as much as I am against anything horrible happening to women all of the time, I'm also very against the witch hunting that I see happening. And I'm always about truth. So ladies, if something has happened to you, please report it, go through the proper channels, and then let's find an awesome way to move on together.
I think most people agree with you on all of the above. It's just we've been so polarized, and we're talking about the optics. So that is at Nicole Arbor. The book is How to Lose the Excuses and Effing Well Already.
That book's not out yet, but I appreciate you promoting it.
Well, it will be. You'll be here when it's out. I'm just building the anticipation.
The beats are big and the lights are pretty. So why can't we get to the busy where the dreams are in the sky?
And if you think for 1 second that the false allegations can never come your way, first, they came from Brett Kavanaugh, and you did not speak up for Brett Kavanaugh. Then, they came for the ultimate Kavanaugh, and you did not speak up for the ultimate Kavanaugh. Mug Club.
Check one, check two, check one, check two. Beer is rape. Beer is gang rape. Can you hear me? Beer.
Go.
Oh, hello. Hi, I'm Owen Benjamin, and you should join the Mug Club because this whole show is funded by you buying this nice mug. Unlike the Young Turks, it's funded by a foreign caliphate.
Yeah, I don't know if we can. I don't know if what the legality is there, but you know, some money from terrorists for sure. $99 annually, $69 for veterans, students, or active military. You get the show every single day, as well as the entire CRTV lineup and this wonderful hand-etched mug. And listen, we will see you October 25th at U of M. Mug Club members, bring your mug, and then you'll get access to the secret after party. Mug Club, louderwithcrowder.com/Mug Club, not mugclub.com. That's not a thing. Just, you know what? We gotta go. We'll be back.
The tentacle porn. Oh, God. Hairy tentacle porn. Holy shit. We've ascended to another level of fucking retarded.
That's called the my mic came in late dance.
Leapfrogging monkeys with tentacles.
You know what? Thank you so much to Mike Ward. He wanted me to let you know too that his special is it Infamous? MikeWard.ca, and his podcast is 2 Drink Minimum. Hey, look, I've got papers here, so you know it's official. That everything I said was it seems like it might be fun. It was kind of a device for David Letterman to use. Thank you so much to Owen.
Hairy left-handed tentacle porn.
Apollo in third chair on Thursday. We also have a Rape Culture is a Myth, Change My Mind coming up very soon. So you know, I've been fit.
Hairy left-handed tentacle fucking. Hairy left-handed tentacle porn. I don't even with what? With amputated fucking. I don't. Jesus. Where do you go for that? Where do you go after that? I don't even know where you go after that. Hairy left-handed tentacle wizard porn. I don't even, what is it? I don't know. What's below that? Wizard sleeve. Dangling like the sleeve of a wizard. I've had 11 children. This is sick. Yes, but this is why we're here. We're here to examine these dark corners of humanity. Roast beef curtain. Oh my goodness. Oh, that's terrible. I know, MJ. I feel you, bro. I'm just saying, we gotta delve these dark corners of humanity, man. We gotta purge this shit, and we gotta bring it up in our chat. Wash your tentacles is all I'm saying. You gotta put them tentacles in a motherfucking wash basin once a week, man. You gotta freshen them up, nigga. And rubberize your tentacles. Come on! Oh boy. We hit tentacle porn. I don't even know where to go after that. Like, where do you go from tentacle porn? I got in first. Yeah, whatever. You're in Australia. We can wait like 6 months to catch up to you, man. No offense, but we're in America. We got to deal with this shit now. Octopussy. Oh, yes. The James Bond reference. There you go. Holy shit. Used to like anime porn until the saliva started getting grosser. Oh, dude. No, the French kissing is crazy in anime porn now. There's I don't know. It's bad. I saw it. I know what you're talking about. Yeah, holy shit. It's like a river of spit. Yeah, fuck you. I'm not... I can't find that attractive. I'm sorry. LA Blue Girl, do not ask how I know that. Holy shit. It's anime. Yeah, it's like somebody had to draw that, you know? In real life, and it's juicy and I'm out. Viscous was good. Yeah. You just there's got to be some contact, but let's not overdo it. Holy shit, Ivana. You're my tongue-kissed soulmate, you motherfucker, you. I'm like, we can rub tongues, but the second it starts making noise, I'm out. Yeah. Ivana was not referring to ass eating. The second the motherfuckers next to us in the theater can hear it, I'm done. I can't. Holy shit. Oh. I don't even know what's going on right now. You people are scaring me, okay? I'm going to put Louder with Crowder back on, and I expect all you motherfuckers to sort this shit out before I get back.
For a bulletproof vest and one of those Mission Impossible masks for acid attacks. We did a life advice segment yesterday, so send your emails to lifeadvice@louderwithcrowder.com. The segment is actually Tough Love with your guru, Dr. Crowder. I can't claim I'm a doctor, but really, I'm a doctor. We did that whole show yesterday for those who are Mug Club members. So it's often I'm inspired with this last segment by a particular email, but we went through what, 5, 6, 7?
I think we had 6.
It was a lot of fun. People seem to enjoy it, and hopefully, I help some of you people out there. Let me be really clear about this. Sometimes some of these segments are a little more flowery. Sometimes I get emotional. I'm just gonna let you know I'm a little bit emotionally drained.
I don't care. I'm just saying y'all sort this shit out and let me know when I can come back.
All day. I've had this hearing on, and I've of course had to take notes, write down time codes, what's being said. I've had to try and this whole time wasted a ton of time trying to fact check evidence that wasn't really evidence, only to realize that it didn't matter anyway, and wasted a whole lot of my time. It was just like a pissed off fire hose, just any which way but loose. Although it was loose. Wasn't it? Fire hoses are loose. They're not hard. But the point is, I'm pretty tired. That being said, this one's easy. You're watching the hearings when you're thinking about how to navigate it. There's one thing that matters, and there's only one thing that matters: truth. That's it. Truth is what matters. If you go through this process, if you go through life seeking truth, if you make that your number one goal, and I know some people right now are like, well, you're a Christian, blah, 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 and Egyptian myth. Just let's drop the factions for a second. Okay, we're talking about truth overall. There are people you know. There are people I know. It's pretty easy to see if someone is consistently seeking truth or to live in truth in their life. Notice I didn't say your truth. Notice I didn't say my truth. The truth. There is no my truth. There is no your truth. There is no Ford's truth and Kavanaugh's truth. There is the truth. We don't know the truth right now. This is why this matters, and this is why I get so frustrated with the media coverage. We don't know the truth. Do you know why? Because human nature, if left to its own devices, is not truthful. That's why we have the justice system that we do. That's why it's innocent until proven guilty. Have you ever actually thought of that? Have you actually sat there and said, hold on a second, why is it innocent until proven guilty? Because that wasn't always the case. Do we want to return to the Salem witch trials? And I know it was, well, hold on, no, listen, that wasn't always the case in every single society throughout the beginning. When people talk about, hold on a second, morality is circumstantial. It's societal. Okay, maybe that's true because some societies didn't value mercy. That's why I think that you get your values and your inalienable rights by a creator. I do believe in God. You don't have to, but the truth is, not all atheists have the same values. The truth is, not all religions share the same values. They don't all worship the same God. But have you ever actually thought about why is it innocent until proven guilty? Why did we, when setting up a system on how to judge people, on how to parse information, did we say, all right, we're going to have to assume someone's innocence until they're proven guilty? It's because we know that if people can use lies to further their own personal position, to advance their own personal gain for power, that they will. We know that. You see it in politics. You see it in the entertainment industry. If people can lie, and if they can do so undercover, if they can be protected by lying, and do it for personal gain, that's why someone's innocent until proven guilty. There's a reason for it. It's so that we don't just say, believe all survivors. That's exactly why it's innocent until proven guilty. How do you know it's a survivor? We have a process to find out if it's a survivor. There's a reason for it. And we've gotten so far off of the beam of seeking truth. Here's another one I'll throw at you. The left, the progressive left, the people, and I don't mean everyone, but people like the Young Turks, people like the Feinsteins, not only do they not care about the justice system anymore, not only do they not care about rule of law, not only do they not care about truth, they're just going to do damage anyway. Even if it's not true, even if it's not proven true, this is the difference now in the era of social media. This is why truth is more important than ever. Because now, you don't just lose your job, you lose your whole reputation, the way information spreads. It's like being able to kill somebody without a shot fired. You can do it through telekinesis, Kyle. If you were able to do that, just aim an empty gun. That's what it, yeah, I've got an empty gun, but I can kill you anyway. So like men who stare at goats, I can cause spontaneous combustion. They don't need Kavanaugh to be tried. They're not even pushing for a trial. We can't even compare it to the Salem witch trials because someone was burned at the stake at the end of something that they saw was some sort of justice. In this case, these are just people we don't know the exact motives, but we do know that they don't care about damaging someone's reputation. And that's the thing about the untruthful. That's why it's so important to keep bringing yourself back to the beam for truth. I've talked about the most toxic lies are not only the lies that you tell other people, but the lies that you tell yourself. Because then you get to a point where you can't even identify the truth. If you don't continue and start every morning coming back to that beam of truth, even if it's a 1-inch tightrope and you're on water skis, if you don't make an effort to, you get to the point where not only do you not care about the truth, you don't care that you've created a nuclear holocaust in someone's life. It doesn't matter to you, so long as you get yours. And let me be really clear. If Kavanaugh raped as many people who've come forward, I think it's up to 219 now, it's like the McDonald's ticker, how many billions served. He is the most successful rapist of all time, and I personally, on an emotional level, would actually like to see someone like that get the death penalty. And I know people disagree. I'm making a point here. Let's not get lost in the weeds on the death penalty for rapists. But let me be as clear as possible. If he raped all the people who accused him of it, throw the book at him. But if he didn't, I feel worse for potential Justice Kavanaugh than any man that I can think of in recent memory. So I'm saying fry him, or my God, my heart goes out to him, and I just want to give the guy and his daughter and his family a hug. Polar opposites. There's only one difference between the two. It's the truth. That's it. Nothing else inspirational. Seek the truth. See you next week.
Louder with Crowder Studios is protected exclusively.
As above, so below. So the law is. so the law lives. Too many heroes to count the call. Too many men to decide. There's nothing happening that ain't already been applied. Or Comacozer tracks.
come to go out of your mind. Are you ready, Ralph? Are you ready to die and be reborn? No. No, first, you must be in a state of grace. First, you must examine yourself in this mirror of confession. What do you see there? Your personality. All your goals.
taste of nothing. Come back and follow me. You had your taste of heaven. All is lost if nothing. Don't let it be.